Right. It turns out there's like so. Listen. Let me explain. So in YouTube, you have to set up a like a template, which was the scheduling of the upcoming stream. Then you have you have to hit start streaming in OBS, and then it'll connect to that, and then you have to go again and hit go live within the
inside like the web page, right?
Back inside the web page. So yeah.
Well, that was a great Tarkov Townhall. It's just really unfortunate that we did it all off stream.
Right, yeah. Big shame. Anyway, so now it's all up. Okay.
Cool.
So, yep, welcome to the second Tarkov Townhall. The structure of this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be timing people, so everyone has about 10 minutes to go through and talk. We'll have the same opener where Bad and I will talk for like 15-20 minutes on the topic, and then we'll hand it off and start calling people in. If you're interested in being a part of this, make sure you say so in the Town Hall chat so that we can mark you down. Because that's how we're going to be tracking it, through the chat. But the topic today we're focusing on is like, if there was one feature right now planned, like it could be you made it up or it could be planned, that you think would like drastically improve the game, what is it? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So I know, like, from my perspective, I really feel like an after raid action report, which I know, Bad, you and I have like honed this down to a science what we'd want at this point, but like
yes, it's less of a want and more of a extreme need.
That's what I feel like. It would make the game feel so much better immediately. Like, one of the things immediately is like, Evolve is that it's the 4v1 alien, you chase the big alien around. It totally tanked, but it had a really cool after raid or after game session where it would have all the dots showing where everyone went. And so I feel like just having something like that in Tarkov, or an after raid replay system, just to like all those times you say like, oh, this raid was so dead, there was nobody, and you could see there's just a team of 5 skirting around doing objectives that you just completely missed. It makes it feel like less dead, first off, and just more interesting, because like you were around threats that whole time, and you had no idea.
Something that people always talk about in their YouTube guides and all that stuff, something even I say, is that like you need to play the game to learn. But if you had those after action reports, you take what you're experiencing and then you also just expand it out to the entire map. You get to see what every single player chose to do, how they moved, the pacing that they did it, and that is information for you as well. So
yeah, I think you should also get the names. Like at the end, you should have, when the full raid's over, I think it'd be cool to show
on that.
Names, levels, kit. I think it'd be interesting to see, like, because you're like, oh man, I was a second away from getting absolutely
landmarked,
smashed, right, by an Ash 12 loser or something. So, I don't know, like, I just think...
I'm torn on it just because again, whatever. Don't really care. Don't care. But the hunt showdown method is fine, where it just shows that there are players in there, that sort of thing. I don't need to know their names personally. There's going to be streamers, streamer mode who will cry and
people
moan.
Are immediately gonna. It's actually, you've already talked me out of it, because I want to see how many players were in the lobby. But yeah, I guess you've already talked me out of it, because I'm thinking about like just the bitch fest on Twitter about like, they found my server by queuing into one server, and then they saw my name. Like, it's not even worth me. It's not even worth my ears having to hear the complaining. Like, just
if you get in a gunfight with them, show the name, just like Hunt.
Yeah,
if you don't get in a gunfight with them, just leave it as unknown. Show whether they're a solo or they have 17 boyfriends. Just simple as that.
Yeah, I just think that like that would be such a big game changer overall. Yeah, I just think like so many small things about where you got hit, what ammo, like,
oh dude,
because here's the
so
thing,
valuable.
Because you also have right now, if you get shot but you like heal up the limb, it removes it from the end screen.
Yep.
So like you don't even know, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to keep track of all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so right now what we have is nothing, and we need something. It would just make the game feel like immediately better for me.
Yep. And like the one contrarian argument to that is like, oh, BSG wouldn't be able to afford to pay for all the server space or whatever they say about having in-raid replays or kill cams. No. Just really simplify it. Use the same data that the server gets to report our player location, etc., etc.
Right.
It can't be that much of an overhead.
And they already have it. They've already talked about it. They have heat maps. He looks at where the players on average are going. So they're storing the data. It is just not being presented to the players. And that's what I don't like. I don't care for that. Give us more information. Like that's just not.
I feel like so many people would stop bitching about so many different things if we had the information. But also, here's the flip side of it, right? I also think that would expose a lot of the netcode bullshit that people just like fucking argue over, butt heads because we don't have any really clear indicator. But if I'm looking at the after action report and I see my fucking characters dot zipping and zapping all over the place and updating, every 30 seconds, like, dude, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, no,
we got some issues,
Yeah. I think it would also be funny too because like you'd be able to see the teleporting cheaters. Which would be funny actually. I think if you see the guy, because at some point, even if BattleEye doesn't catch it, like they are in one spot and then they interact with the map in another spot. So like the server has to at some point recognize a player, looted marked room, right? Like that has to be recognized somewhere.
You would think so.
I would hope. Or their private sheets are just so good that it's like this. It tells them that they're not moving, kind of thing.
I find it really hard to believe that you could have a private sheet that would beat something that can detect like a fly hack or something like that. That is so floor level of like cheats.
Yeah.
But again, that comes back to like that no code thing. I think it'd be easy to do that if it wasn't normal for your player to travel a large distance in a span of time to the server.
Yeah, I don't know. But what about you? What features would you add that would change the game?
Dude, that is absolutely mine. I'll just say that. But the secondary one is probably just going to be a complete task rework. I toyed around with like the character idea, but I don't think that's going to have as much value as fully reworking the tasks and making them enjoyable. Just
not
putting some sort of variety in there. Cleaning up some of the little pain in the ass ones, like capturing outposts. Like, I'm not saying make it easy mode, but do something with it to give it a little bit of spice, a little kick, little
pizzazz.
Just something, man. So that when I'm doing this for the 26,000th time, I feel something inside of me when I'm playing again.
Yeah, I feel like there's, and here's what they're immediately gonna say. Well, if you just played the game less, if you played the game, take a break. No, but I do feel like they're just so poorly designed. Like, there's nothing you can do after you understand how tasks work. They're all the same. They are just the same. It's
the same cake with a different frosting on it.
Right. It's kill or plant or pick up or stand in one spot and pray that people walk to you. That's it. On repeat. Or
the opposite of that, stand in one place and place something completely neutered and hope someone doesn't run into you.
Yeah, and we put these at the largest, at the most pain in the ass. Please plant a camera in Brutal across from Kiva on interchange.
While Kill is there staring at you.
Right.
It's like, please walk down to the center of woods in the largest focal point and place a camera in the open.
Literally become somebody's shooter born in heaven shot, please. It's just so man.
It's like you said with a lot of BSG stuff, and I will not just attack BSG. There are other developers that are just like this. It's like, I don't know whether it's laziness or disdain for their own game. I really don't.
Well, it makes me nervous too, because when they added systems like the daily and weekly tasks, They were, you compounded an issue. Like, you had bad tasks, and it was like, okay, we're gonna rework these in the future. And then you add in a system that's like rests on top of your bad design. And so now you're saying we'll rework in the future, but you have to rework all the weeklies and dailies now, and all the pre-existing tasks. And like, people would say like, oh, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be probably pretty easy for them to do that. But then I'm like, you got to remember, they were so proud that they changed the weeklies and dailies to say pistol or shotgun kills. That was a bullet point in their like they popped it up on screen to show you. It was one of the things that they demoed, and I'm like, what's demo worthy about
and
that?
I remember that day I got something really stupid, like eliminate scavs or PMCs at 100 meters with a shotgun in the legs or something like that. I was like, thank you, I'm glad that we fixed that up. Now instead of it being a revolver shotgun, it's just a shotgun at 100 meters.
Right. They don't feel like they're really they don't feel like real tasks. They just kind of feel like hurdles you have to jump through at this point.
It's not like
nothing feels engaging.
So I've been doing the RuneScape thing, okay? It isn't my first character. And let me tell you, when I'm firing up all these old quests, I'm not really hating my life like the first few tasks in Tarkov, and I'm getting that bronze pocket watch for the 19th time.
Right.
So, there's a way to do it to make it feel okay to even people who are doing it for their, a millionth time, dude.
I feel like it wouldn't even be bad to find some way to shuffle the tasks. I know streamers would cry because
some guy would get the perfect Kappa set.
Right, they'd reset until they got the perfect Kappa set up because they're going for first Kappa, and it's not fair because the person I was competing with got the, they got
a bad roll.
Yeah, they got better setup. I got, you know my point. I got a hard task right off the bat. I was keylocked day one or something. I feel like, it couldn't be true shuffling. It would have to be something like what they did with the bosses this wipe, where it's more like a branching tree, and you at certain tiers of the tree, everybody gets the first, 3 tiers the exact same, and then the next 2 are shuffled around because they're not.
I like that.
They're not super dependent, and then it goes back to being like, okay, everybody gets Shooter Born in Heaven still. Everybody gets,
right, at the same time.
Yeah, my point is just like, I don't know. I just don't love. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't love where it's at. And I think that that's one of those small things that I think would just add. Like, I agree. I think it would just add a lot of value.
Yeah, I like your idea there. Just like kind of randomizing it in that like middle area.
And I low-key also want them to tell streamers to fuck off a little bit. You know what I mean? Stop crying. It's not a competition. I'm sorry you can't get Kappa in 10 days. I don't fucking care. Play the fucking game. Shut up. Sit down. Shut up.
The other idea of like having the multiple characters and leagues and that sort of thing. Yeah. That's where that would thrive. Yes. Yeah. Every, 3 months or whatever, there's a new league starting. Yeah. First Kappa gets this first, dude, like if you want to have a competitive thing, have it be in a competitive format. Same thing with Arena. That they're doing that with Arena. If you want to have this like circle jerk competitiveness, separate it out so that the rest of us can have the game.
Yeah, I know that
I would love to watch it. I celebrate it, dude. I always say with every one of these like early Kappas, it is a humongous time investment, and there's something to be said for that. However,
I think I forgot you'd said that because we hadn't talked about it here, but like a leagues, you get like a secondary character to basically they'll do something quirky with the game. Like I think it'd be funny if you like removed a lot of the bullshit keylock tasks or those were like always unlocked, and then you gave everybody like 5 times XP. It's a separate character. It's just for everybody to see like how fast, how crazy they can get. Triple the amount of money you get. And it only lasts for like I don't know 2-3 weeks. And then the server shut down. You have to go back to your other character. That way, people can't be like, "Oh, you killed the main game," because it's like, dude, whatever.
And then
in
it's 2 to 3 weeks, another league starts up, and here's another little goofy thing for everyone to do.
Yeah,
transition all of the cute little
pistols and bolt rifles only.
Yeah, or that, it's the Halloween League.
Yeah.
You're fighting pumpkin heads now, or like, dude.
Or the fog is on every map 24/7 for 3 weeks, but with some like, there's also got to be some like benefit, like you can find thermals in every raid, kind of thing.
I would not sign anyone up for that hellscape until
Well,
they rework fog.
Well, I mean, that fog event, that fog event they had for last Halloween, where it's literally like you can't see an inch in front of you.
What do you mean, man? That was so cool. I love the part where we all
that was actually probably just where it rained. Yeah. My point is, it shouldn't have been on live servers. That event lasted like what, a week, and you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and there's that whole thing where they're like, you can log in at 6 p.m.
Dude, don't get me started on that.
I thought they were gonna do like pull a Fortnite, and Travis Scott was gonna beam down from the sky. He's gonna get pair dropped out of the cargo plane and play a concert for us.
I was waiting for I remember sitting in that event when they were like, whatever, log in at 3 p.m. yada yada. I was like, oh shit, like here we go. So I logged in. I remember the sun moving across and the moon coming up, and then I was like, all right, now what? Like here it goes. Like so here it starts, and like 5 minutes goes by, and I'm like, oh. And then everyone on Twitter was like, was that it? Was the sun moving all you were doing? And it was like, oh shit, like that is all they were doing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're not gonna like do something? I feel like that's how it is with everything that they do. Even look at the most recent. I didn't pay attention to any of it because it made me want to off myself. But the like ARG event they did just recently.
Yeah, I couldn't be asked either.
Dude, I just couldn't care. And I love it. It's the same thing. It got everyone hyped up, amped up for nothing. Again.
Yep.
Like
everyone made speculation and
dude, I got idiots in my comments saying that like I'm wrong because the ARG said so and so, and like somebody was like, did you know the game is gonna wipe on January 3rd? And I was like, no, it's not.
What?
Like just because you said that, I swear, just because you as a one person said that, he's like, there was a date in there. It's like, listen. They've been coming up, people have been coming up with like rationales for this is when something's gonna happen for so long. It won't happen. Just shut up. Trust me, it just won't happen. Like, If somebody has said they discovered it and they tied up the dates, no one has been right about that ever. And so if it does wipe on January 3rd and they got it right for once, congratulations. They're like people 1 in 17.
Close.
Well, of course they're close. They say it every fucking day. Tomorrow's gonna wipe. Tomorrow's gonna wipe. Tomorrow's gonna wipe. And then eventually it wipes. And they're like, I was right.
I was right.
Shut up.
The world is ending. The world is ending.
I told you so. I told you so. Yeah. But
it's just, I don't know. Yeah, and like, dude, a lot of these, like the map and all that stuff, like that is ignoring some of the fundamental core issues with the game. But that will drastically make it'll put that lipstick back on the pig and make us forget about some of those issues, I think.
Hold on,
at least until they can.
1 sec.
Oh, nice.
That's weird. Why would it do that?
Is it just yours or is it mine too? He's inner Elvis. I didn't know you could sing, dude. Yeah, it's just you. So it's got to be something on your microphone.
Yeah. Is it still doing it? No. That's so fucking weird. Yeah, it just weirded out. Like, because here's the thing, it's been working this whole time, and then for 1 second it decided to have an aneurysm. That's wild. Anyway. Yeah, well, I think... Now it's a webcam. Shut the fuck up, I don't have a webcam, you little bitch. Don't play this game with me. Okay, I think let's go ahead and open it up. So how we're going to do this... Make sure you type in the Tarkov Townhall chat that you want to talk so that we can keep track of who's of the list of people, and then we'll pull you in one at a time.
Cool. We might be able to up the timers a little bit depending on how many people we get in chat.
Yeah, or we get to end early.
Or I get to go back and take another nap.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull Locust in here.
Cool.
Locust, hello.
Yo. Hello.
What's up, man?
Hold on, let me get your volume set up. All right,
Hi.
real quick. Wipes. How many wipes? Or how many hours have you played? Just for context.
Some like fucking Jesus, like 3,500 or something like that.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Oh
so you've
my
been around
god,
a
he's a
while.
big boy.
Yeah.
We got a live one.
Yeah.
I was here in your last town hall too, so thank you for bringing me back. I was
Very
like the
cool.
first person to chat, but whatever.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're back.
So you were the guy that was waiting since last night that I saw in here.
Maybe no, that wasn't me,
Just
but,
played. Just played.
yeah.
What feature, man?
Yeah.
What feature do you think would just be like the best thing for Tarkov right now? Like, what does it need? Remember, real or otherwise. Like, it does not have to be a planned feature. It could be something you made up.
I think probably that after game report is looking pretty heavy. Just like from the perspective that like we're dealing with so many like cheaters right now, and like I think that it would just bring a lot of like I guess security to people, like being able to look back on a raid, see like, oh, like yeah, this person maybe was behaving super suspiciously, you know, and then just having like a little bit of that reflection, or like, you know, I'm in a process right now where I'm doing a lot of offline raids, and I'm increasing the difficulty on the AI, sort of like practice, just going and killing bosses, doing this and that, and it struck me how I really should have done this earlier, because it's providing me some like learning lessons that you just wouldn't get like online, and it's for
Like
me
what?
it's also kind of a good
Like, I guess I'm curious, what are you learning offline that you don't learn through like getting, you know,
well,
your ass blasted on factory by Tequila?
not that you couldn't learn it, but it would become a lot harder to learn just because of
There's
well,
a cost
you're-
to it, right?
yeah, exactly. There's a cost, and you don't necessarily get to be put in those situations when you're in an online raid, right?
Sure.
So like, I get to go in, say I'll bring like my best M4 and like class 5 armor or something, and I'll go in and what's a good example that it was, I think a reserve or customs or something like that, where basically like I had a couple of the AI push me in a way, say that like I wasn't expecting, you know, and then or actually this was a really good point, basically learning what the map sounds like with nobody else on it. I didn't realize that, say for example, there's certain bosses you know, that will like literally gun down AI scavs. So sometimes when you're hearing Rashala shoot from dorms, he's actually probably killing AI scavs, is what that is. Because in my offline raids, like I go there and I'm like, you hear the gunshots, then it goes quiet, and like I think
There's a hacker. He's in my offline raid.
Yeah, or it's like people have this notion that it's like, oh, like Rashala will just shoot his guns to like get your attention, and that I realize that's not actually that's not actually the case. They're actually just shooting AI scavs and spawn in dorms with them. So I thought just like weird things like that help you like identify locally. Like I think that, you know, and so being able to immediately like reflect on that raid, like without being stressed or without being angry that, you know, I died to a hacker potentially or something like that. It allows me to reflect on the raid a lot better. And so I think having that like post raid cam, or like, as you guys were saying, like the post raid collective sort of like, you know, where you can go back and like, and watch maybe the raid from a bunch of people's perspective and see like maybe how other people were doing things. I think that would provide a lot of really useful information to the player that would help them progress and grow a lot faster, because this game is like it's huge like
It's
learning
an information bomb, man.
Yeah,
Basically, anyone who is new to the game gets tossed like several grenades at them. Here's the medical one. Here's the gun attachments. You know, information is a valuable thing.
Yeah,
and I really feel like the amount of times I feel like my only pushback, I think, and you know, take it with a grain of salt, and then hit me with what you're thinking back. But like, I think about PUBG's replay system, and you know how the replay systems are always a little bit laggy and not very. They look really. Everything looks really suspect and weird when you're watching it on that playback. Some games have awesome replays, and then there's games like PUBG. And with when we look at how features are implemented with Tarkov, I feel like that probably wouldn't be the best version of an after raid, cam, right? It'd probably be something more similar to PUBG in quality. And I feel like there's a lot of players who have a hard enough time. Personally, I feel this, so this might not be true, but they have a hard enough time distinguishing what is actually sus and what they just hear everyone else say is sus. You know what I mean?
Totally,
because I feel like people would look at this after raid kill cam, and it would probably only last like 2 weeks after somebody would make a video disproving it. Like, dude, it's just a laggy video. You gotta relax. But I feel like you see so much of that for the first while of everybody being like posting these like, look at this replay, and it's just the laggiest fucking stuttery mess, and he's like, he's clearly cheating. It's like, no, he wasn't cheating. He was just, it's just the server. But
I think like Tarkov community is definitely a big echo chamber, and in a few different ways. You guys were talking about like TTV guys like complaining about wipe not being fast enough. That's a big problem that I have. And then just in general, like the negativity that you get when you go on like Reddit or anytime like some TTVer posts like some video about like a meta or like a cheater or something like this, or like some new guy posts a video that's like, oh, this guy was hacking. Like people just jump on that band. It could be about fucking anything to complain about, and people will just jump on the bandwagon and talk shit all day long. So I find that really frustrating. Particularly, the most frustrating aspect I think in like the echo chamber universe is like all of like the 2% of like players that all get kappa within the first week.
Yeah.
Right. And like I still haven't gotten kappa yet. I mean, I haven't really had the time to sink into it.
For sure.
Cheers,
I did like one wipe where I got to like level 50. And I got all the way up to like halfway through my Grenadier quest. I think I might have unlocked Test Drive, and like that was as far as I got before people were like, "Well, game's wiping in a week." And I was like, "Well, okay, all right."
Yeah, well, I guess I won't keep working on this.
Yeah.
No, I when it comes just down to the negativity, that's such a basket of shit. And I think that's. It's hard for me as somebody who plays a lot I haven't played that much in the past like month. But like being involved in this game for a really long time, it's hard to not feel negative, and sitting around, even like half the streamers I enjoy watching, not half, some, whatever. Point is, people are negative, and everywhere you go online about this game is negative, and it's just tough. And like, I think it's trying to self-identify that echo chamber too, because that's what I'm like. I get in a funk, and then I read my YouTube comments, and then I'm in more of a funk because they're also like, "Yeah, fuck this game." And I'm like, it's you.
It's the worst like consumer or whatever bias that you have. Like it's the worst. You know what I mean? You get a bunch of fans following you. You get a bunch of people that are just like jumping on that bandwagon and like really willing to spit your own shit back at you, and it just creates a downward spiral. It's the worst.
Yeah, I've definitely had to catch myself on that recently, just because like as my channel is getting bigger and stuff, it is funny to like, I'll say something even as kind of as like an off joke, and then other people will take it and run with it and make it a real thing where they're like,
you have a private army
fuck
of
these
legit
devs.
players.
That's different.
Right
I'm weaponizing them appropriately now. Legit
players
rise up.
Speaking of weaponizing users, one of the things that really and like this is, I guess it's kind of fair if you're a popular Twitch streamer, but have you ever watched someone, no names mentioned, Gingy, when they like, oh, so who wants to hop into my chat and be a shooter-born, or who wants to hop into my game and be like a shooter-born in heaven kill for me? Who wants to
do that?
Hop into chat? And there's been a couple Twitch streamers I've seen that have done that. Friendly guy, bless his heart. That friendly guy. He'll go in.
He has to.
No, he did. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is like he goes in and he like asks them, can you be he'll meet a random person and like try and give them something and be like, I'll like donate to charity. I'll do this for like Shooterborn Heaven. He doesn't just like, be like, all right, everyone in my chat, like if you're verified, go to Discord.
Yeah.
I'll drop the server name here, and then we can fill up the lobby, and you can all line up to be my shooter born and heaven shot. Like that is some simp ass shit. That fucking makes me so mad.
No, I hear it, but
that's just food for thought.
You know, it's cheesy as hell.
Yeah,
it's certainly cheesy.
I mean, but then
as hell.
again, there's something that I cheesed. Well, I cheesed capturing outposts. Just the woods one. I couldn't get anyone to go to woods.
Tell me about it.
And I was like,
I am not here to judge.
Yeah, like I know that's what I'm saying. I can't point fingers yet. Next
So
wipe,
do
maybe if I
you
do
get
it
like a
clean.
bunch of your viewers to come in and help you do capturing outposts?
I tried. I got some
we
of
call
my
them friends for a day.
Yeah.
We call
No,
them friends for a
I got
day.
like 6 people in, and we were able to do it once. But it just took too long to get into a server, so then I said, "Fuck it," and I just went and did. So I did 6 of my woods or something like that. Jeez, but who cares? It's a stupid requirement because it's literally just time. It's hey, sit in this spot for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that, man. I'm sorry. You have to incentivize
I'll have that
the
kind of
player
time when I'm
appropriately.
retired, all right?
Yeah,
If
right.
maybe Tarkov will finally release when I'm retired, and then I'll have the time to go and do capturing outposts. That's about where I'm at right now.
If I was streaming 6 to 10 hours a day,
Yeah, maybe.
Landmark.
But anyway. All right, well,
Well, I'm
Lucas,
not, you know.
thank you so much, man. We're going to keep this rolling a little bit faster than last time. But
Yeah, no
good
worries.
point. Hey, real quick before you tear out of here, Lucas, what servers do you play on?
Mostly North America, so I do like
You got like a 3 rotation.
oh, yeah, I forgot we were going to ask this. I forgot about this.
I probably have 5. Anything that's
5?
basically
Okay.
under like 60 ping.
Okay, so you look at ping. You actually pay attention to ping when you select servers?
Yeah. And when
That's
if I'm
interesting.
having a really hard time, I'll reduce my server down to the closest server to me that has the lowest ping, and I'll only select that one. And I find, particularly if you're trying to go to labs and you're like just trying to say do samples, I would specifically do this. You know what I mean? Or if like you're a really new player and you want to do online raids, but like you're really worried about like PvP and encounters and you want to like depopulate the lobby, this is what I would do. I would like go into your launcher, pick the 1 server, maybe 2 that's the lowest ping to your area, and like save that and launch into a raid like that, because it's going to reduce the amount of people drastically, and it'll just increase your chances at doing like really basic things. So that's a little bit of a cheese that I use when I'm trying to like do risky stuff. So
Cool, dude.
Interesting.
Thanks for sharing.
All right, well, thanks for
take
stopping by. Have a good one, man.
cheers, you too.
Have a good Sunday.
Interesting.
He's a nice guy. He's
Interesting.
played for a long time, 3,500 hours.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about the server thing. I forgot about that. I do want to ask that. All right.
Yeah, it's
I wanna get
interesting,
some
isn't
coffee
it?
real
Yeah.
quick. One sec. Entertain them.
Oh yeah, and if only I had power, I would just show you guys my RuneScape right now. It's the most riveting thing ever. I'm clicking a green cell every 30 seconds, basically. It's riveting. Let me tell you. Oh, I did it again. I clicked it again. You guys can't see, but I clicked it. Oh, actually, I'm so old that I don't have a social security number.
All right, good job. You sounded really entertaining. I'm going to pull Moo in here.
Thanks.
Moo?
Would you already have a pot of coffee
Hello?
ready to go?
Yeah, I already had coffee ready.
Oh,
I made it before this. I'm prepared.
I thought you were starting the pot.
No.
What brand?
He's a Folgers
This is
guy. as you know.
what, no. It's whatever's buy one get one free at the grocery store, so it changes by week.
Fair.
But if I had to choose, there's a little coffee shop outside of Zion National Park. They only have, it's like they have one of the shipping containers. You know what I mean? They're like a shipping container. You drive up to them. They make their own coffee, and that's the best coffee I've ever had. So, yeah. But
I'm
it's
a
also,
Death Wish
it's
fan.
ass expensive. It's like $30 for a bag. I'm like, suck my dick. I'm not shipping coffee. It's all tastes like shit at the end of the day. So,
For some beans, goddamn.
yeah, no, exactly. Moo, welcome.
Hey Moo, how you doing, dude?
Are you a brand risk today?
No, not today.
Okay.
Unless I want to use my soundboard.
No,
Please, let's just keep that thing covered
Make
up
sure
for the
he's
night
turned up.
or for the morning.
So how many hours you played? Or what? How
30
many wipes?
Like 2 wipes, 30 hours if you stretch hideout management.
Okay. What?
Hideout character.
What? Do you know what servers you play on? Or do you just do like auto?
I guess it would be North American or West Coast, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
How many do you usually select?
I don't even know.
Okay.
To be honest, I didn't even know that there was a server selection.
Okay, so then you're probably just playing auto.
Auto.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious. What's a feature you think Tarkov needs?
So I've been thinking about this long and hard, and I feel like this would add a different way to play the game.
Mhm.
I'm trying to function this as I go. So, as it stands, whenever you enter a game, to my knowledge, you're given a random set of extracts and you insert in a random spot. Like if you go to interchange, you'll spawn by was it highway?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I see. Yeah, I hear you
interchange.
saying.
Yep.
Yeah. And you have to extract across the entire map. I was thinking, let's be honest here, right? If you're going to constantly go into one location and explore it, loot, do whatever, you're eventually going to learn where you're leaving and entering from. You won't exactly just be walking down a random path and hoping. So I was proposing a feature where perhaps based off your memory and if you've discovered the extract, you could, on picking the map, insert at a certain location and pick some extracts, with the timed ones or conditional ones always being available, like the train on.
I see what you're
I'm
saying.
not sure which map.
So more control over your spawn and extracts going into a raid kind of thing?
Yeah, being able to like form a game plan. I'm gonna go in here, do this task, or go in here, loot this.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder how that would be with
So, back in the olden days, you used to be able to pick which side of the map that you'd spawn on. So, I would do pretty much what you're saying, because there's a couple, like, think about, like, the Golden Zippo quest, right? It's more efficient to spawn on boiler side, pick it up from dorms, plant it, and leave on crossroads. So that's what I would do for that quest. So you had some form of control, but they took that away after, I'm assuming people cheesed it or something.
Yeah.
People got their tasks done really fast, and BSG didn't like that. So
Could also make it based off either the time of day or something I was thinking of using the memory skill.
Yeah.
I feel like as it stands, it's pretty just in there to be a skill.
Agree.
Because let's be honest here, you're never going to have skill drain if you're using the bare minimums of your skills like strength and such.
I see. Like I think so the extracts aren't necessarily random. So if I spawn on one side of the map, you're always going to get the same set of spawns on the other side. But I do think like what you said is something that I haven't thought about, and I think that like I forgot about it because I have played so much of the game, right? And you still have this like fresh perspective, which is like being able to actually plan what you're doing. Like especially if you have a group, I just imagine it'd be so cool to have a little like sit down preemptive like you almost sit with like a map on the table with your group, and like you know how people can draw on it, like is it 0 Hour? Did 0 Hour do that? You got a little map you can draw on. Due Process does it. I think it's 0 Hour.
What was it? Ground
GTFO
Branch
does it too. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't play Ground Branch, so I don't. It might do it too though.
Okay, so it was 0 Hour then.
But I
Because
just think,
can't
like-
remember which one we played.
Being able to actually prepare with your group in a way that like, oh my goodness, imagine just taking somebody who's new and saying like, and let's ignore the spawn conversation because I think that's a really cool thing too. But like being able to outline and explain how it kind of works, I think that'd be so cool. And I think it would add a lot. And I mean, there's some predictability with the spawns because while they're random, which one you get, there's a set, there's 25 fixed spawn points. You have to spawn on one of the 25. I think it'd be so cool too, to have some sort of like randomized. I don't know how you make that more dynamic, but like to Moo's point, I think like I don't know, some way to prepare and I don't know how you would do that, but I just think it'd be so much cooler. There's a way to make spawning into the game more interesting, right? There's some way to make the player feel more engaged, and I'm just not sure what that mechanic would look like.
I was shooting from the hip real quick. Let me just... We already have car exfills that go with scav karma.
Yeah.
Why don't we have car infills that also play into scav karma?
Yeah, that puts you at better locations. There's some sort of like cost to it.
Yep.
Or also thinking about the extracts that require you to have a certain thing, like I believe on what's the Red Rebel extract.
Yeah.
If you could also insert from it the same way you extracted, like entering through factory through the was it the bottom part that you need the key for?
Yeah, I hear you saying. No, that's actually a really
Yeah.
cool thing too. Is like, how do you, actually, yeah. And you could even add your own. Like here, you could add a Red Rebel infill and interchange. You go over through the hole in the burning roof. You know what I mean? You rappel in or whatever. I don't know. And I know that like people are gonna be like, well, actually, that's too. People get to the loot faster. Where loot spawns is a whole other issue. We're not talking about it. We're in these like little subsects that we're talking about this. I'm pretending the rest of the game is perfect and loot is balanced, and you can't just run and pick up the GPU and beat the game basically. And we're not gonna pay attention to like what if 3 people pick all the same. They all pick the same infill and that's 3 teams fighting. We're gonna pretend that is fixed. Just to be very clear. But, like, I didn't think about that. Like, a dynamic infill. And that's just because I've got the game memorized, basically, like, the back of my hand. I know exactly where, but, like, oh, man.
But that's what's cool about these, the little town hall things. It's stuff that we just don't think about. But someone
tell
out
me
there
more.
is like...
Tell me more about this thing right now.
Moo's over there like, I've got a great idea, and now he has a soapbox, and other people think it's a cool idea, and...
Yeah, I've been thinking about this with the mentality of I'm probably have the worst opinion if I talk about like meta or something. So talk about something that could, help me as a beginner.
Yeah.
Or help other people that have certain issues.
What else on the front end, like when it looks at, like I guess you've talked about like spawning and extracts. What additional information in, let's say, like would be interesting to like, in Raid, what is more information that you think would make the game better? Like, they have maps, but like, I don't know. Do you get what I mean? Do you get the question though? Like what I'm asking? Okay.
I've tried the maps. I feel like they don't do shit.
The in-game maps? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, the floor map. It's like just like a floor plan or something.
Yeah.
I prefer, obviously, it probably wouldn't work, but what if there was something like, I guess GTFO or ARMA, if you have the right settings, where it just gives you a general area of where you are, and you have to sort of find where you are through the locales. Like looking at this decayed hut, and oh look, there's a decayed hut on this map.
100%. I wish that they had, like, and you're gonna get. I can tell you where your pushback would be, right? The whole subreddit and half the people in the comments would be like, well, just learn the maps. But like, there is something so immersive about being able to look at that stuff and determine in game what you're looking at, what you're doing, where you're headed, because it's really immersion breaking when I just slap a pristine 3D rendered because some community member made it on my second screen, and I'm looking at this beautiful map that tells me every little thing I need, and I'm just, you know what I mean? It's
where
like
all the jackets are, the filing
yeah,
cabinets,
exactly. Here's the loot route, like. Whatever.
What's better, looking at the Reddit for 12.12 patch, customs, extract locations, having to click everywhere, or having
I've got an old
physically
one.
pull it out?
I think that'd be super cool.
And being able to write on it.
Yeah. Well, they haven't. What's so funny is they have an in-game notes system. I just always forget it's there. It's like within the tasks, there's like a little drop down. It opens up like a notepad that you can just type everything in that saves. So you can like document all this stuff. For going into Raid, but I just always forget it's there. It's one of those features that like I've used once.
The only thing I've seen it used for is when Trey was sick a couple weeks ago. That's how he communicated with his chat room. So that's the only thing I've seen it used for. Yeah, it goes in line with the after action report thing. Having more information accessible in the game, inside of the actual game, is such a good thing.
Yeah,
it's so valuable.
Yeah, I feel like there's too much information where there shouldn't be, and not enough information where there should be. Like,
what do you mean
for
by
ammo? I guess ammo would be my best example here. It tells you all the thing you need to know about the ammo, like is a tungsten core, 2.7 millimeter, whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ever tell you the stats of the ammo.
Right.
It'll tell you literally everything you need to know about who manufactured it, what year it was made. But what does it pen?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. And then the fact that you have to rely on data miners, and then you have to go to the Wikipedia to understand the ammo outside of the game. You have to leave the game to understand the statistics of the ammo. That is the most back-asswards thing about this game. That's so stupid.
In all fairness, though, there is a website that neatly graphs everything. It even has markers of what it can pen versus what it'll one-shot, like Mosin,
we hear you,
PS,
Yeah, no, that's the ballistics
We hear
website,
you,
isn't
buddy.
it? Isn't that just the Tarkov ballistics? But I just am like, why? So next to my map on my left screen, I'm gonna cut the screen in half, and I'm also gonna put the actually, I'm gonna have to put three things. I have to put my map in raid. I have to put the ammo chart, so that if I find a box of ammo in raid, I can like scurry around on the chart. And then I also have to put up the Wikipedia for the task I'm doing, so that I can see where I need to go and what I need to do, all outside of the game, because these things are not told to you inside the game, right? Like it's so silly to me. But
And in the last town hall, I believe you mentioned something about Nikita saying that they want less, looking at all that stuff on a second monitor or alt tabbing. They want less third-party interaction with Tarkov or something like that.
Yeah, and so then what they did is they encrypted half the data so the data miners can't see it. So all it means is that there's less information even on the internet because they are blocking people from seeing it. But
we're blind and they just took away our seeing eye dog, basically.
Right. No, but I agree. I think overall, like, that's a really good that's what I think you'd have to do. I want it more in game. I just agree with you overall. But yeah, Moo, thank you so much, man. I'm actually
miss you, Moo.
The spawn stuff has kind of got me fucked up because I haven't thought about spawns and exfils in like years. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming on and giving that perspective, man.
Oh no, he got it out. Get out of here.
Get out, Moo. Bye.
Make him leave. Make him leave.
I was hovering over disconnect because I heard him start clicking. I was like, Moo's getting the soundboard. Moo's getting the soundboard.
He sounded like he was not going to go there.
He wasn't paying
attention.
Yeah. I know. You can't get if you let your defenses down around Moo, he will make you regret it. That's funny. All right, so now we got Rek.
Yeah, I believe it's right.
Rek, you are muted.
What's up, dude?
Hi.
Hold on.
How you doing, man?
Talk again.
Hello.
Oh, wow, why is everyone so quiet? Hold on, something's going on.
He is a little quiet, TBH.
What the fuck? Oh. Don't talk. No one talk yet. Okay, talk.
The overwhelming urge to talk as soon as you said that. Oh my god.
Rek?
Yeah, hi.
He's still quiet. That's so... Talk again?
You know what? It's on him. Turn him up to like 120.
I am. Talk? Rek?
I was resetting my mic. Is that better?
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds fine. It's high quality. Mic sounds great.
Yeah. Just sometimes Discord, I gotta reset it. It's a whole process.
Yeah,
Anyways.
no worries. I have you cranked to like 150. But I was like, I don't know why it's not coming up for me.
Oh,
Cool.
I get you. Hi.
Anyway.
How you doing, man?
How many wipes?
7, 8 wipes, 4K hours.
Okay.
Okay, we got another big boy.
And what servers do you play?
Depends. Role playing, Chicago, PvP, Montreal, and then right now I'm just all servers because I'm doing scav stuff.
You're role playing in Chicago, God. Damn.
So you have okay. So you've got specific like you know what you're getting into when you select a server kind of thing.
Oh yeah. It's
Interesting.
fun times.
Okay. No, that's curious. We're just I guess the reason we're asking this question for some context for everyone is like we just heard a lot of people crying on Twitter about like game's dead, no one's in my servers, but whenever Bad and I play and we're like on auto US or something, we get there's people everywhere. So it's one of those things that like clearly it's more of just I want to prove a point. I feel like
Mine's less vindictive. I just want to know
weaponizing people again.
Yeah. I just wanted to have a good idea of like what everyone does when they're at that server select screen and get an idea of why. Because I feel like some people, again, like what we're talking about, the TTV thing, they just follow. They listen to their favorite TTVers like, Kansas City server's hot, Atlanta's hot, and then that's all they run. And perhaps they have a horrible time on there, bitch, moan, cry, never see anyone, hackers all the time, etc., etc. So I'm just curious.
Anyway, Yeah, sorry.
Well, the server stuff for me, a lot of that came from playing with a lot of different groups, and so I saw what groups played on what servers and why they were doing it. So specifically, I go to Montreal to run into a team that 24/7 runs reserve.
Oh,
because it's fun to fight them.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see what you're saying. Now. Okay.
But suggestion, for me is they need RPG mechanics bad. It's a big selling point in the game, and yet none of your choices matter. Specifically, you guys brought up tasks earlier. Kind of jumping off that.
Oh, you mean like role-playing game mechanic? Okay,
yeah.
I'm an idiot. I was like, you think
I
the
think
biggest
this
thing
is
is a
gonna be
rocket launcher? Like that's what you think they need?
I agree with that too. I think that would be cool. Also, but
it's like
I think this could be interesting.
I'm not gonna tell him it's a dumb take, but hold on, I don't need a rocket.
Let
launcher.
him elaborate first. Let him elaborate.
Sorry.
This could be cool though, because that's something that we always talk about, how we hate the skills. So
yeah,
I'm ready and willing to listen.
So, the skills are a good example, but bear intimidation is one of the things you get from being a bear. I don't understand how that's supposed to work at all.
Wait, what are you even talking about? Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's bear intimidation?
I'm a bear, by the way. I've been a bear for like past 6 wipes, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's a unique skill for bears in USEC. One of them for bears, I think it's called intimidation, or it's supposed to intimidate. It's a bear authority. Sorry, is what it's called. I think.
So is it in the skills tab?
It's in the skills tab. Yeah, should be, I believe.
What? What? I have never.
Oh, so okay, so Honey Badger's talking about it. I think these are just
they have it in the wiki.
Got it. So these are just, they're not active things, but they're things that they've written up that they kind of want to implement.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm following.
Okay. But anyways, so I'd love to see those skills more in use with actual factional choices in Tarkov. And I know, well, at least I think you're one of the people who's on the opposite end of Scav Karma from me. I love Scav Karma and I love the Karma system.
Okay. You just I will debate you all day long on this. So let's hold on that, because I'm curious why people love Scav Karma. Okay, let's keep talking about features. Let's keep talking about features. Yeah, well, that'll be the next town hall, and you can come back on here, and we can battle to the death.
And he can yell at you for 25 minutes like he does me all the time.
What other I guess what other RPG mechanics would you want to see? Like, do you have any specific examples, or do you just want the game to be more like an RPG?
I have a specific example.
Yeah, let's talk through it.
Use Scav Karma as a jumping off point. So faction Karma.
Sure.
So as your PMC having it, where you need choices to make in game, and it doesn't just need to be USEC or Bear. We have Rogue faction. There's indication, obviously, of the cult. So I'd love to see, for example, people that go -6 Karma become members of the cult. And then now you're part of the cult faction when you scab in, as opposed to being a part of the normal scab faction. So you're treated a bit different.
Now that I agree with, like, I think that's a really cool idea that I think Bad and I have talked about before too. And I think I've seen other people talk about, but I agree. I think having those end choices, out of curiosity, what would the positive spectrum be if you go +6? Like, what do you think? Because, like, let me tell you what, becoming part of the cult and having like cult clothing sounds sick as fuck. So
I think having the ability to choose when you spawn in a raid, or potentially being able to opt in as spawning as a boss guard.
Interesting. Yeah, and I could see that, especially if you like and you've talked a little bit about like the RPing stuff. Like, I could definitely see where like that stems from, kind of.
Oh yeah, and by having it on PMCs too, you then encourage different ways of playing. For example, let's say you decide as a USEC I want to get really friendly with rogues. Mm-hmm. Rogues have the ability to give you tasks or whatever, you go out and do them. You join the rogue faction, you spawn in on Lighthouse, you spawn in at the rogues. And any other friendly players that are also in the rogue faction would also spawn there. So now you have a encouragement to VoIP with, hey, we're all in the same faction, we all spawned in together. So now you are controlling your spawns on certain maps.
But how do you, I guess...
I'm interested. Yeah, I have more questions.
Yes, that's where I sit with it too. I just don't know.
How do you think you limit the abuse there? Because certainly you can see how it could be abused, right?
Yeah, so to limit the abuse, for example, I should be able to kill whoever I want when I see them at site, and I don't care if they're in my faction or not, and I shouldn't be too heavily penalized in the way that scavs are very heavily penalized if you f up, especially if you get over 6.
Right.
I think at that point, when you extract, you just pay the person's insurance cost and they get their insurance back if you want to, and if you don't, then you lose the karma. So it kind of incentivizes, it's kind of a Chad tax on risking it all for PvP shots without, hey, should we be friendly first?
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I do like the idea of, especially, you know, I'm a bit of a role player myself too sometimes. So I do think that's cool, man. You know, like it would be dope to have my scav character, instead of just sitting there gathering dust, I have something to do on it, you know, but I will always, in this current era of Tarkov, pick the option that is less abusable. And I see on both sides of the spectrum, negative and positive scav karma, you're rewarded heavily.
About 30% of my time in Tarkov is still spent mainly trying to play competitive PvP.
Right. I'm just saying, me and you and may never, you know, just fucking cheese cultists at -6 karma, but people will. So I think it's easier just to keep that off, you know, but that's my take.
I think about, like, there's a reason that they had to shelf PMC karma, right? And they had to shelf that feature because they were trying to design it similar to scav karma, and this was talked about on one of the podcasts over the past year. So if anyone wants to go fact check me, just so you know where I'm getting this, but Nikita had spoken about, like, hey, we had to put on the shelf, and it is assumed that the rationale is that, like, in game, it is almost impossible to. The game isn't designed for faction on faction PvP yet, right? If I'm a bear, I can queue with a USEC. So what happens if I'm a bear and I see a bear and a USEC playing together? Do I just shoot the USEC because I'm going to get the karma, but then his buddy's a bear? You know what I mean? Like, how does that align? As well as, like, if you just see somebody off in the distance, it is impossible to tell because there's only... I mean, fuck, we can't tell from a distance whether or not it's our friend or not because there's only, you know, 4 faces in the game. Everyone runs the same kind of gear. It's going to be some sort of, like, ulach, that kind of stuff. You kind of get where I'm going at here. So they had to pause it because it was like, there's no way to just be like, oh, you're a bear, I won't shoot at you. It's so that's why I get anxious when we talk about, like, these kind of, like, karma and faction systems, because I feel like in an open world Tarkov setting, I 100% agree with you. I think it'd be sick to have it run similar to, like, a stalker, right? But in these closed raid sessions, I get a little bit more anxious about, like, well, how does this work? Because if you spawn at the water treatment plant on Lighthouse, you can walk, if you're, like, part of the rogue faction, you could just walk around, right, and scoop up the best loot on the map. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a counterpoint to that.
Hold on. Rec was trying to talk. I'm sorry, bad.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I actually have a great counter to this.
Hit it. I'm curious.
They already have a system in, which is dog tags, and this is a reason to squat up. Sorry. So let's say I'm a bear and I'm playing with a bear and another bear kills my buddy. If I get out of the raid alive, I have now reported that, hey, the guy that looks like this killed my buddy. You now lose karma. Now, if I kill you and get your dog tag and get it out, I now have your name. You now lose more karma. Now, if you kill both of us, your crime was unwitnessed. Nobody sees it. And if you get our dog tags and nobody else gets the dog tags and reports them, which you wouldn't have to report them. This could be like turning the dog tags over for a reward. There's now more of an RPG mechanic involved and more of a, like, importance on getting those dog tags out and importance on, like, clean wiping the squad and not leaving traces behind.
And again,
I like this guy shit.
I point to, like, that sounds cool, but it only sounds cool in open world. Like in DayZ, if that was a DayZ mod, right, in some of those, like, Tarkov servers, I agree with you. I think that sounds cool. I'm thinking about, like, let's boil it down to its most simplistic. If I'm on labs, or I'm sorry, not labs. If I jump into a factory, and I'm a bear, you know, especially because you PvP as well, you know how fast some of those fights are and how quick you have to move, right? Like, I just don't see I just don't see a world, or you do get the same thing you do with scavs right now, where like I can ruin people's day as a scav because the game incentivizes it. I can walk around you, shoot at you around you, not hit you though, and then wait for you to finally defend yourself because you have something good. You hit me first and I kill you, and I get plus karma. You know what I mean? There are so many like. Sorry, go ahead.
I have two responses. Number one, 100% agree. Until we have long raids and map-to-map travel at the very least, that no way in the hell with this system would I want it in current Tarkov. Number two, once we have arena, the people who are playing labs more competitively, like they are now, are probably all going to be playing arena, as opposed to playing labs 24/7 or attempting to.
Yeah, no, and I hear that, but like I still PvP. I mean, a lot. That's like all I do. But I'm not going to jump only to arena because I like the dynamic. I like the game as it is. Like I also am not, but I also don't cry 24/7 saying like they killed PvP. Like I think the game's fun. I'm curious, right? I just really don't see a way in which this works. It's because it's such an interesting and intricate idea. I don't see how BSG bakes that in to the current structure. And so, like you were just saying, I think the minimum they would need is you got to have longer than like the gameplay loop right now is get out in 7 minutes after you hit the 2 loot hotspots on the map, pulled the best loot and dipped. You know what I mean? I don't see room right now in current Tarkov, which is like you said, right? We need longer raids, or map to map travel because it's just so weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's funny. You should mention that. It's what I teach people. I'm like, if you can survive the first 15 minutes of a raid, you can just have fun. Just as a squad, just go have fun. It's your playground now because all the sweaty chads are gone.
Right, because they've already hit the loot. They've already hit the Yeah,
if I'm farming, I'm off that map in 7 minutes.
Right.
At the minimum.
Yeah.
Ideally less. Like I've checked the woods, for example. Now I got max strength. I clocked myself the other day. It's a 4.5 minute run for me to do Sturban.
Well, shit. How many times have we spawned old gas, jungle, crack house, dip?
Right.
Like,
because that's the loop that it rewards, right? You run through the couple hotspots in jungle or stronghold, whatever people call it. It's jungle gym, but you run through jungle, you get your stuff, you go hit the intel spawns, the meds. Yeah, you kill maybe 1 or 2 people because you're crossing like 3 spawns at that point, and then the raid's essentially done unless you have a marked room key. And even if you do, if you've killed people and have loot, it's like it's not worth just dip at Ruaf, which is still bugged, by the way. Still bugged and always open, but
you said it.
No one's reporting that bullshit. No, it's
now it's over. It's getting fixed.
Whatever, dude.
Better than the shoreline extract that was never open for 2 years, but still.
Oh yeah, the boat one or whatever.
Not the boat. It's the pier terminal extract that has the 50 hours.
The CCCP or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's the railway.
I forgot about that one.
At least, but
yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about that because I never used it once because I never knew how to access it.
Your video the other day had me mauling about the state of Tarkov, and then you showed the lights on resort. On shoreline, the floodlights, and I'm like, oh god, I remember now. I hate why haven't they fixed this yet?
We do some bitching, man, but we try to have some sort of basis in any bitching that we try to check each other.
Yeah,
that's just one of those things that, dude, night vision on shoreline just makes me want to bang my head on the wall because you can't shoot the lights out.
Yeah,
you have to approach them at it. Yeah.
If you want to know a real fun trick with positive scav karma, by the way, cultists don't aggro you and they don't lose rep when you kill them.
I think it's the same with raiders, isn't it? I mean, raiders will like half aggro you. They're kind of weird. Like sometimes if you get near them, they get like pissy, but
yeah, they'll just like cuss at you and stuff though.
Yeah, Rick. Well, thanks for coming on. I will have to have you. I think, I'm going to talk scav karma next time, and I want to let's duke it out because
I like this guy as a guest.
Yeah. Well, if you want, I could also reach out to Very Bad Scav. Him and I have had a couple chats on Scav Karma, and he's the, I don't know if you followed him at all. He's very.
I've seen his stuff every once in a while.
He pushed his rep, I think, to -50 last wipe just to test it. But yeah, all right, it was fun chatting.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, dude.
Yeah.
See ya. Anyone can come from any class, any culture, any TTVer. All of you can come on. You can all wait in line.
Don't invite the TTVers.
Oh,
Don't
no.
you
No.
dare
I want to trap them in a voice call, a locked voice call with us.
Don't do
We're
it.
gonna have to power wash this thing down when we're done.
I need some bleach to clean the thing out. All right, let's get Kleb in here. Kleb, hello.
What's going on, Club?
Hello?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Real quick, just for some background, what how many wipes or how many hours do you have?
I think 4 wipes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, 4.
Do you know what servers you play? Do you like auto or do you handpick?
I'm on Auto Europe.
Auto EU.
Okay, no, I was curious about that too. Yeah, man, what features do you think? What's Tarkov missing? Like, what's the big thing that would just make the game infinitely better right now?
I think they should include, how they have the toxicity and the temperature, and it just has no use in the game right now. So they should make it so it does something, and like make some areas like toxic, so you can't go there at certain times in the raid, for example.
Okay, like similar to like how DayZ implemented like the radiation zones over certain towns.
Yeah.
Interesting. What kind of like, how would you want that to play out in a raid? Like, I know you said at certain times you can't access it. Do you want that to be like, I don't know, like the toxicity drops 10 minutes in over an area and it stays there for 20 minutes and then it like alleviates. So like maybe if you have the right gear, like gas masks and stuff, you can go through it, or like what would a raid look like with some of those features? Same thing with like temperature. Like how would you want that to play in a raid?
Like maybe in a night raid, you would be hypothermic unless you bought like enough gear, so you wouldn't be going naked doing quests. And for toxicity, maybe if you just stayed in if you just went into this zone on the map, like it's a random place in the map, it just becomes toxic after a while because of some sort of airdrop coming in, like some sort of the AI scav planning, for example, sort of law.
No, that'd be kind of cool. How would you? Okay, so I'm trying to think like how, because I want that to be like punishing and engaging, but I also want ways to alleviate it. Like, how would you handle hypothermia inside of a raid? Let's say the sun has gone down and you know what I mean? Like, you didn't start with a night raid, right? Let's say you went into a regular raid, the sun went down and now it's getting cold and you don't have like the thermal clothing. Like, how would you handle that within a raid kind of thing?
There could be like an item, like some sort of warmer.
Sure, like a hands warmer.
Be found, in like a specific location, like a drawer in dorms.
Maybe huddle around one of those warm fires or the fire
barrel.
Oh
yeah, I forgot they have fire barrels in this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you play Tarkov like more like do you wish it was more like a survival game? Or do you prefer it? Like, I guess what's your like ideal Tarkov look like with these kind of features, you know?
I think Tarkov, my ideal Tarkov would probably be a little bit more on the survival side instead of just hardcore PvP.
Right.
Because there's just thousands of other games that have the hardcore PvP that if you want to play, and like they're introducing Arena now, so that could be somewhere where they could go, and Tarkov would be more survival central.
I agree.
I think it'd be cool too to see that with like, again, I mean, similar to how we were talking with Rect about this stuff, but like when the open world happens, I think that is where I want to see 100% what you're saying with like these features that are just
same.
I want more like depth to the game, because right now it just kind of feels like your character's just you're in, and as long as you like drink a juice and eat some crackers, you'll be completely fine. But like,
I think we could play around with the cold element, at least in the current game, but I wouldn't want to see any radiation or any toxicity, or I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want like if I have to get bronze pocket watch, I don't want that area to be radiated, bro.
Sure.
Like, come on.
I think as long as it's not like, as long as, okay, you know how like, I don't want it to be similar to like the malfunction system where they added the malfunctions, and if your gun drops beneath 35, it's, or not 35, I'm sorry, 93,
or whatever. Like
Where are we reading these numbers from?
Yeah. But I think about like, I just don't want it to be something that like everybody can so easily circumvent, where it's like, as long as you just equip a gas mask by default, you never have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Because that's how a lot of the features are right now, is like, if you have the money in the game, you don't have to ever worry about some of these problems. You can just ignore them. They're not even a part of the game. So I don't want it to just be like, I want it to be cooler than that. I would want it something more, I don't know, just more interesting. Because
it's just another thing that you add to your like list of to-dos, right? You get 42 so you can buy everything. You get Grenadier done so you can unlock BP. Like,
right.
So now you unlock whatever it takes to buy the chemical respirator. Like,
yeah. I think it'd be cool if they added like specific areas that are going to be, because same thing, I don't want like, you know, I don't want the bronze pocket watch truck to be irradiated. So day one, you have a bunch of little, you know, nuclear zombies trying to like walk their pocket watches to extract. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have like
my pocket watch pour, my skin's falling off, all melted.
yeah, your skin's slipping off.
Got your
face.
family heirloom, bro. Like,
don't hold it into a Geiger counter.
Thanks for the 15k rubles, bro. Worth.
No, but I think like special zones and areas, like if I still think one of the coolest things they could do is add like underground bunkers to some of these maps, like small bunkers, make those irradiated. Fuck it, like make them an event to get into, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like the idea, man, because again, that's like one of the things that got me into Tarkov, is like the survival elements. But it's a cool idea. We need a little bit more time. The game needs a little more time in the oven before we can implement that one, though.
Maybe.
Just sucks. We've talked about a couple things now between him and Rec, like stuff that just would be so good if the game was further along.
Yeah.
It's up the pace.
Yeah, right. Let's go! Come on, boys, let's go!
For real.
Yeah, no, it does feel like we've moved a bit of a snail's pace past couple years, but yeah.
Street's gonna be the next big thing, though.
Yeah. Do you think? Are you excited for Streets, Bub?
I mean, yeah, because it's they say that's going to be the size of all the maps combined. So there has to be some sort of transportation system that they have to add into the game, or else it's going to be unplayable having a map that big.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what that's going to look like at the end. I just don't know. I don't know. I just pray it runs. I just pray it runs better than Lighthouse. Oh, I pray, man. But I would like to see the maps be more alive, and I think that's something that like you're just talking about with like the transportation. I think that'd be sick. I mean, they have the what is it, an APC? Isn't that what they showed off? The BMP or whatever. I don't know what they showed. They showed like the vehicle that transports people.
Yep.
Just like, I don't know, man. Like hiding in a building, like laying prone while it drives by, and you're on the first floor, like beneath a broken out window. You know, as everything moves by. I'm replaying Last of Us 2 right now, so I've got this like stealth mindset where it's like you don't have to fight every single thing in the world, and so like being able to like the world is moving and is alive. Like I think that'd be so cool, as opposed to just like, hey, we spawned a sniper scav who's gonna spin 6 times on top of a silo. Like that's all he does, right? I don't know. I think that moving stuff, or if there's a squad in that transportation, you know what I mean? Driving by and you're like, just no one fucking move. Like everyone stay down. Let this thing pass. Like, dude, like that sounds like it's going to be cool. Like that, I think will actually be super sick about that map.
Yeah. And I wish that same school of thought applied to people like, not Rashala. God damn. What's his name? Gluhar, yeah, like because he does that same sort of like little patrol route. He has his scouts running around. Like I wish that perhaps if I was in smelling range, I could just lay down, not making movements, and be okay. But they have a sixth sense.
Yeah, no, the AI is not built to do that. I mean, that BMP will drive by and then shoot out the building. They're like, there should be a link prone behind this window. Thump, 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 thump. You know, like,
Bandit over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Tourists. We got tourists.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
Immediately destroys your building.
Yeah, right. Just levels it.
The AI is a bit ridiculous,
dude. No, exactly.
It just needs a little, but again, just oh my god, I'm gonna say it a million times. It just needs a little bit of tuning, and then it could be okay.
Yeah.
Not good, but okay.
Yeah. But
like I'd be hiding behind a tree, and then a scav just stands up and then prones and then shoots me in the head, just through the tree. No, not even. I haven't even shot it once.
No,
sometimes I feel like we're the scavs, you know. They are the trained PMCs.
That's what it feels like. It really does feel like that. But yeah. Well, Club, thanks for coming on. I don't think about the survival stuff ever. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to think about because I think about this game because I've played it for so long. It's just like a, you know, point A, point B, PvP on the way kind of thing. So I don't. Yeah, it's not a perspective I get.
A honest 30-second review of the auto EU servers. Are they popping? Are they infested with cheaters? Are they filled with so much loot that I should cross the pond?
Well, cheaters is quite rare to find on EU, but there's a lot of writing, there's a lot of hiding. So I expect them to be there.
So it's just like NA. Okay, got it.
Yeah, right. It's the exact same thing.
Cool, man.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
See you, buddy.
Have a good day.
That's funny, the EU, that he said that. Some people are he's gonna ruffle some people up. Somebody's gonna be like, excuse me, I run into 37 cheaters.
What did he just say?
I run into 37 cheaters every fucking day.
Every raid, there's a cheater and they kill me. Take my slicks.
Hold on, I'm typing up that's the order I've got. I've got Trey, Blackbeard, Mox, or whatever, it's in there. All right, I'm playing in Trey.
Yeah, that was my order.
Trey, hello.
Howdy.
I like your profile
How you
picture.
doing, buddy?
Stream. Thank you.
I just rewatched season 1, so.
Oh, it's the best one.
Dude, yeah, it really is. We don't need to talk about it, but the animations in season 2 just make me roll my eyes. But season 1's
Save
incredible.
it for your Japanese cartoon podcast that you run.
Shut the fuck up! I like anime. There's nothing wrong with that. Leave me alone.
I'm just giving you guys
Fuck
shit.
you, bitch.
You know,
sorry.
I watch football, so it'd be
Yeah,
funny for
exactly.
that.
It's good because the other day I was watching one of Shudda's shorts and he was playing the Overlord theme song and I was like, pug.
I just finished
I'm
that
bugging,
one too.
I'm
I really
bugging
liked Overlord. It's one of those like guilty
Dude.
pleasure where it's like
So good.
it's like so generic, but at the same time I'm like, man, there's something.
It's all the notes.
It's
It's all the
exactly.
notes.
Sometimes you just want to feel good. Anyway, sorry, Tarkov.
No, you're good.
How many hours or how many wipes have you played, and what servers you play on?
4,200. I am mixed. I go Chicago solo, and I hate auto. It is not efficient. I typically will select as many servers as I can. So like right now I have 8 or so selected for just really quick
Okay.
matchmaking.
Okay, so you just kind of like prune out the servers you know you don't want, because like I know sometimes I get chucked onto bullshit servers when I'm on auto.
My biggest problem is about how quickly I'm matched. I could care less if it was for consistency of my matches, as long as I can get in and out of them pretty decently.
Yeah,
which is actually the one thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, what's your feature?
So I want them to add loadouts, but I'm starting to get skeptical that they're going to add it with Arena, which ideally I think should have it functionally. That's a whole nother bag of worms.
Yeah.
But if they're going to release Arena and they want it to be this fast COD-paced style shooter, it needs to have some sort of loadout feature. And from what I remember, they mentioned that loadout feature will be brought to base Tarkov. But I don't see that happening with Arena coming so soon. If it does, if it comes before Streets, all that if. So we'll just assume it does. If they could implement loadouts into regular Tarkov before Arena, that would be awesome, because I don't think it will come with Arena.
I wonder
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So okay. So when you're talking about optimizations, you're specifically pointing towards like time optimizations of like how much time do I spend kitting up and waiting for the game to set up? Because it's like I feel like after you die, it's like a 10-minute. Okay, go through and stack the ammo. Make sure they build the gun or assemble the gun however you have it.
Hard agree. It's the reason I have issues in certain groups, because some will be ready in about 5 minutes, and I'm sitting there sorting through stuff. I've gotten better, but it takes a lot of actual effort.
there's some people I want to strangle because they take so long. Where they're like, I'm looking for like one thing, and it's like, bro, just buy it. I don't care. Just go on the flea and buy it right now. I don't care if it's in your stash somewhere. You're driving me nuts.
I know that feeling.
But like, I this is something Bad and I've talked about a lot, but like the amount of downtime between raids, right? So I've been playing like Hunt Showdown recently and Rainbow Six Siege, and just going back and playing some older games.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Shut the fuck up. I played Siege for like 5 years when it first came out. It's fine.
Same.
It's whatever.
It's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's good back then. Nowadays it's like, but it's like,
so yeah,
the amount of time
it's competing with a lot of other games.
The amount of time you spend like not playing Tarkov while Tarkov is open, whether it's trying to put like set up your hideout and that whole, you know, laggy UI, or putting a kit together and
move errors.
Oh my word. Like, dude, the amount of downtime there is between raids, that's a huge gripe I have with the game too, where it just like kills me.
It makes me click off too. Like with just like recently there was the Warhammer 40k Darktide beta. Yeah. Absolute fun to play for like 3 or 4 hours. I was playing with a buddy who you may or may not know, Rectorol. We were playing it for like 8 hours, and we were just playing it. We looked at the time. We're like, Jesus, it's 10.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen with Tarkov typically. Just because you are paying attention to that time. Yeah, you're in that load menu for about 3 to 5 minutes. If someone doesn't have SSD, you're dealing with the traders not always working. You're dealing with move errors.
Right.
And then sometimes you just have to restart Tarkov or it crashes, which isn't too bad. It's not as often as it used to be, but still a problem.
No, I completely agree with you. And so then you end up, I mean, I don't know. I probably can think of 1 or 2 people that do not play Tarkov without a second, like a video up on their second screen.
Oh yeah,
because
not many people have the desk space for another monitor, and money is a thing,
right? But like, but I feel like most people, if you have it, you have something else up to watch because of how long Tarkov takes just to play the game. To prepare to play Tarkov is a show in and of itself, right? There's a reason that people have developed macros to like auto sort their stash, auto sell things so they can, I mean, I'm not saying don't do that, it's technically cheating, but like it's a big technically, right? I put that in quotes. It's a big technically you're cheating. But like it shows that it is a problem because the player base is designing solutions to fix it, right? Where it's like, I don't want to kit up. So they have like macros that have loadout save that will go in and do it for them. Essentially just like RuneScape bots, just going pop, putting it together. Because I complain about that a lot too, because I get tired before I've even gone in and played. You know, you open Tarkov, you look at your stash and you go, oh fuck, like there's a lot of that to do.
If you've had a good couple of raids, it becomes a big issue.
Yeah, no,
at this point in my Tarkov, like, what? Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry about that. I refer to it as unfucking my stash because that's the only way I can refer to it as now.
That's the truth. I deal with it with shit all the time because he never dies. Dude never dies. So he's just always, after like 3 raids, he's like, I gotta sell, man. I gotta sell. It's gonna take me like 15 minutes.
No, I know.
It's terrible for me because I'm always dead, putting on a new kid. I'm ready to go, and he's still alive mid-raid. It's crazy. I don't know what happens.
I know that feeling. So aside from the loadouts and the optimization, the only other thing I'd like to see them really kind of hone in on would be the consistency of the AI. I cannot explain to you how much I've so let's say you take an engagement the same way every time, whether or not it's an AI, boss, scav, rogue, or raider. We're talking about all the AI. If they don't notice you, I feel like you should be able to peek them, but there are times where they're already locked onto you before you even peek them. That's very inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I should be constantly guessing, am I going to push this regular scav and is he going to drop shot, one shot me, run away? Is he going to run at me, make my gun, like I want some consistency. I like having that randomness of the AI behavior, but I'd like to have it be more consistent so I know how to engage them.
I think
that makes sense.
It really does, because it's funny that like if a scav shoots at you 2 times and you're behind cover, I'm always scared that if I re-peek him, that he's hit his miss limit.
On your head.
Exactly. He's tracking you. He is now on his I'm going to hit you mode. Yeah, because I feel like that's how
100% shot. Yeah.
They don't feel dynamic. It feels like scavs are designed to miss shots 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden it's like
if you peek them again, you're going to die. You know, they are now like
100%.
You're playing a different game. Same with bosses. Like, oh, Sturman shoots twice at you to make noise to let you know he's a boss. And then if you hear that SVD again, you're just probably dead. Like,
most likely.
I don't like that. Like, I can
the
have that
biggest-
mental timer too, because you can play around that. If I run around to a different side, like it breaks their, it'll break their, you know, their
Line of
like
sight.
memory. Yeah. It like breaks their memory pattern too. So they're not able to like get you immediately. But yeah, AI suck.
you know
it makes me sad.
You know what's funny about that kind of situation? I was playing with a buddy who speaks Russian a couple weeks ago. We were fighting Gluhar, and he's screaming at me through the wall because he can see me. But I'm resetting his, I don't know if this is still a thing. You can walk while crouched, doesn't matter in what direction, for roughly 5 seconds. It resets all AI. And I was doing that. My buddy was like, oh, he sees you, he sees you. I'm like, that's him telling me he doesn't see me, and I'm about to push him. And I did shot him once in the head, but you have to do these weird little things that you have to do, like research or watch a video to know.
Right.
None of that's in the game.
Right. No, you have to play a song and dance to play around the AI. If people come into Tarkov and just try and fight the AI like you would in any other game, you know, moving cover to cover, if you don't break that line of sight, they're just tracking you through the whole time. Like, if they shoot at you twice behind cover A and you run to cover B and you're like, okay, I think I have this. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're still in their head. They still are locked on, and they have like you have to do a full, you basically got to run around the whole building. Run around a building, like
chocolate milk on your head and rub your belly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I agree.
It's just so
inconsistent. That's all it is at this point.
Normal players are penalized. New players are penalized. You know, people who don't play the game in quotes, in the sense that like Tarkov wants you to fight their AI a certain way. If you don't fight them in this certain way, think about how everyone kills the rogues. You cheese them through a building so they run in and slide, and you have 3 seconds to mag dump. That's the only way people fight them.
At best. Yeah, at best.
Otherwise, you just insta-die. Like, if a normal player coming to Tarkov who's like, wow, I'd love to fight AI like I fight them in every other fucking game in existence, will die, like 99 times out of 100.
Specifically a problem for FPS shooters, because if you're approaching Tarkov as an FPS shooter, you're going to have that frustration and difficulty, especially if you're a solo, which I'm predominantly a solo, so a lot of solo gripes come up, especially because of that. I feel like the best way to deal with that would be to, oh man, I'm blanking on my idea. Could you remind me what we were mentioning? It was
we're talking about AI and the way that you have to play the game.
So the biggest thing is, if you approach it like it's an FPS, you have to go in with a team. Tarkov really feels like it's a team-based game. You can play it solo. It's very effective. You can enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I feel like Tarkov shines and is at its best with duo to trio gameplay. And when you have that, you got to play it a little bit more RPG-esque, in that you have one person pulling aggro, you have them shoot at you, and then you have another person shoot them. That's like the only way you can approach rogues, for instance, especially.
Right.
And especially Big Pipe. That's literally what I had to do the other day to get us to kill him. I literally stood on one of the roofs. They were aggroed on me. My friends, I gave them 15 minutes to work around him. Couldn't do it. I started getting him to shoot at me very aggressively by peeking, and then I would immediately go prone so he couldn't hit me. Within a second, they killed him.
Right. Yeah, I think you make a good point there. A lot of it's designed, but it's funny because like what you're describing isn't even like, I wouldn't even call it like tactical gameplay. It's making the AI. It's like forcing the AI.
An MMO.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
I got aggro. I'm the tank.
Right. You're
that's
forcing the
main point.
AI to play a certain way because of its design is bad. Objectively, bad AI in this game. But
yeah, the only other thing I would say is some automated events.
What do you mean?
If like I miss them having like, you know, the heat wave was the most obnoxious one a couple wipes back, but even that was enjoyable for a couple days. Change it up on the weekend. Make it an automated system. Have like 10, 20 modifiers in there, and I want to be excited when I log in on Friday. Like Destiny, if you've ever played it, Zer's always there. Many other games have that kind of thing where they do things on the weekend to pull you in. I would like events.
Yeah.
That's all.
I would like something. Yeah. No, you made some good points. We'll try. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Have a go, man.
You too.
You dude.
Yeah, I do. I know everyone talks about that, like they miss events, but
they gotta be good,
I
man.
just
They
miss
can't
something.
be half-assed.
Yeah, I don't want like a fog event all weekend. You know what I mean? But I do want events in general.
I miss them too, but
I just something
I've
happening.
seen what they
something.
want to give us.
I don't care. Like, yeah, fuck that. That makes me mad. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm gonna start bad mouthing BSG. And
that
I'm gonna
we
challenge
could have
them
a
to a duel.
whole. We could have a whole town hall just on events. Probably.
Yeah, because I'm curious how many of the events have actually been good.
Yeah, like what people's general attitude is for them.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull him in Blackbeard.
Cool.
Blackbeard, hello.
What's up, Blackbeard?
Hello.
How's it going?
How you doing, dude?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Doing well. All right, I'm gonna interrogate you. How many hours or how many wipes and what kind of service do you play? How do you set that up?
4,400 hours.
Damn, son. Nice.
All big boys today.
Like
I know
six-
everybody going in is like,
I think like 6 to 8 wipes. I can't really remember.
Yeah,
There's
no,
been so
that's-
many.
So you've been
That's
around
gross.
for pretty much all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether that's good or bad.
and what servers do you do? Are you like do you pick or auto?
I handpick. I've been handpicking since
Okay.
probably the second wipe I played because I found if you let it auto pick, sometimes the matching's not very good. Like you'll get thrown into a server that's got like a ridiculous amount of ping for your connection.
Right.
Mhm.
It screwed me more than it's helped me. So
No, that makes sense. And that rationale behind it makes sense. But man, what's the feature you think this needs? What's the game changing feature or whatever that would make Tarkov better?
that's a really tough question. Because over the wipes, I feel like the last couple wipes, the changes that they've made to the game, not that they've been bad, but I feel like they've been lackluster. Because the first, like, a few wipes ago, the changes that they were making, they were just, I feel like they were new to players. And then as soon as a player would experience like a new change in the game, they would have like almost a newfound love for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Ben.
No, I was just gonna. Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about like revitalizing the older players too. You know, like the task system, but I'm not.
Yeah,
sure
that's
that
a
there's
big one.
I
I feel like,
there's
I
only
could talk
so
for hours
far
about
that goes, though, right? Like,
yeah,
there is.
I don't
an end of
know.
the rope.
I feel like with the tasks specifically, instead of just adding new ones and then just having them all fucking pile up, I feel like they need to kind of make like a rotation system. Like I know for some tasks they have to be done in a certain order for the lore, but there's tasks that make no sense that they throw in like in the middle of nowhere that you have to just go do, and they're so repetitive, right? I just feel like they would randomize it a little bit, because after playing the game for so long, like I literally have no drive to do tasks. Zero. I
My
just
only
like this
drive
wipe, I
is-
just play to kill.
Yeah, my only drive is getting my task item. Really, getting 42, getting BP, etc., etc. Like,
Yeah, your
that is the only
cases,
thing that
go
drives
through and
my
get all
tasks.
those.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to any story or lore.
I've actually never
I'm-
once read any of those. I think I
I
read
read them.
I read one text box. It was the Kill Sanitar one. That's the only text box I've ever read, lore wise.
Well,
I
I
read them
figure
all
it's-
my first wipe, but then
Oh.
after that, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like first of all, half this is misspelled. There's
Yeah.
phonetic errors all over
Yeah.
the place. I was like, there's no value to reading these. They don't even tell you where to go. You know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like the scav system needs some work too. Like I feel like if there was missions for the scavs that you could just like, it would give me something to do, because when I play scav, I don't really care for scav karma.
Yeah, same.
It does nothing for me. Like what do I get? Like a shitty little package from defense. Like it
Right.
does nothing for me, right? So like I don't know. I play a scav, and I'm a bad scav. Like
Same.
if I see you running, like I'll try and interact with you, but like if you try and run away from me, I immediately think you've got something good in your bag.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
also
Yeah.
play scavs like that, where you're like, I'm gonna ruin this fucking guy's day.
And like I don't know, I feel like that's part of the game. Like I had a buddy that was like -20 scav karma when it first came out, and like he was just getting aggroed every single time he went in, to the point where it was just unplayable for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like missions for scavs would be really cool to integrate, and like they need to work on the skills too, because there's a lot of skills that they have that aren't in the game yet that I feel like if they added, it would turn the game into more of a bit of a survival game than it is right now. Because like you were saying, like you can just eat crackers and drink juice and you're good.
Yeah.
But like there should be like very specific, like if you, let's say you just blacked your stomach after you got into a huge fight and you broke both your legs or something and you healed everything, you should have to like, there should be something tied in with like how you get hurt to what it does to kind of like your metabolism and shit too. Like you should have to eat something specific or do something specific after that. I feel like it would make it a little bit tougher when you do get into situations.
Yeah, I think I see that being cool, but at the same time, like
it would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like I don't want to just layer on features that are already frustrating, where it's like, oh, if I have a CMS and they shot me in my leg and it's broken, I have to spend 30 seconds, which I know is not whatever. You spend time patching up the leg, then you have to heal the leg, then you have to apply the splint. Oh, maybe I have a heavy bleed, so I have to have one of those. Like, I think that like,
and that whole time you're vulnerable as fuck.
And it's just, but it's like, or you clean the fight and you're just sitting in a corner and you gotta, if it's a bad fight, you can spend like 2 to 3 minutes sitting in a corner just patching everything up. I think there should be more dynamic, interactions with the health system and the way that you heal yourself and stuff like that. But I don't want it to just be like one more thing that takes an extra 30 seconds,
I feel like it should be well thought out and it shouldn't just be like another, like, I love Tarkov, but BSG has a habit of piling things on to each other instead of changing the things that are already a mechanic in the game, which is kind of frustrating to players that have been there for a long time. But like, I get it, right? Like I don't know how to code a game, but I'm sure it's not as easy as everybody else thinks it is. So
no, of course. And of course,
that being said, like a lot of the players don't see that. They just bitch.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, it's the easy thing to do, right?
It is, yeah. So, I mean, like I have a computer background, so like I get it. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
I think it also comes down to like what people want out of their bitching. Like I would say that everyone has some sort of axe to grind, right? The PvPers bitch because they want more PvP. The moneymakers bitch because they want to see that ruble count go up. I'm bitching because I want the game to be good. I perhaps I feel myself on a little higher soapbox, but no,
Yeah, with that ruble thing,
you just need to take the bitching into like a frame of reference to see if it's like actual valid like constructive criticism or if it's just
valid complaint or if it's just
someone wanting something,
No, exactly. No, I feel like too with that ruble thing, to add to that, like the loot has been more dynamic as of late, but I feel like it's still, you go to the same area, you go to the same spawns, where a certain thing has a certain percentage to spawn. And it's like, I feel like they need to change that, because there's money runs that I've been doing for 5 wipes that are still there.
Right. What's the biggest thing that sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I point to like, it's why new players say the game is really hard because they don't know where to go, how to loot, but then it's why people who have been here a long time are like, this is one of the easiest games. I swear this game is just like the Dark Souls series, right? Where everybody loves to jerk it off and be like, it's so hard, it's the most difficult thing in the world. And then you play it for more than a couple hours and you realize it's not that it's hard. There's just a way that you have to play the game. There's a way you have to play Tarkov, and there's a way you have to play customs, or you have to play interchange, right? And if you understand how to play, like the game tells you, here's how you play it, all of a sudden your ruble count goes up, your survival rate goes up, you just do better because you're playing it the way the game wants you to. And a lot of people, I mean, you don't have to like that. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's how it is. So...
That's very true.
And the loot's the exact same thing you're talking about, where it's like you have these loot runs that just work because it's a way that the game lets you play it, and it's manipulatable. It's able to be manipulated, right? And you do that, and you make tons of money, and then you're able to buy whatever you want and play however you want. Like,
Which is kind of what I did this wipe. Like I didn't do too many tasks. I was so bored with all the tasks. I just wanted to see what I could do just by playing the game. Just going to go explore, see what runs I could think of, see what points I could hold up. And like, yeah, it's very repetitive. And once you know what you're doing in a map and you have that map knowledge, it almost becomes like a second nature.
Right. No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on. That was a good point. That was a good conversation. I like that one. Because it involves like how the current game works, as opposed to dissecting like what new things can be added. I thought that was an interesting conversation.
Sweet. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for sharing, dude.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna grab some water. 1 second. Entertain.
Cool, man.
Bad. Be entertaining.
No, God, I can't be entertaining. All right. Oh, dude, thanks for coming and listening, man. You know, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't just memeing. This really is for anyone. Even if you are not playing Tarkov right now, even if you're like played it for 2 hours. We had someone on last time who played like 8 hours total. We want to hear like what everyone thinks, dude, because I'm sick and tired of listening to like what the same 4 or 5 people think. So I would love to just hear what normal, average, everyday people, you average blue collar Tarkov folk.
Yeah, you little average losers. Like, you're not better than us. Why don't you talk?
You little shitters with lives out there touching grass.
I don't know. We have a lot of people with
Going
like
to
4K hours plus, which I think I have. Like,
Yeah.
I think I have 4K like flat. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna pull in
Welcome back.
Sile. Hello.
What's up, man?
Sorry, my mic's off. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hold on, you're loud.
Yeah, you're loud.
Hang on. Let me fix it.
No, you're good. I fixed it.
I
Bad. Sorry, guys.
No, you're
How you two doing?
Well, good. I mean, I
Doing all
gotta
right.
get
Let
the
me just-
blood
I
out
don't
of my
mean to
ears.
rape your ears
upon
real
for-
quick.
My bad. I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
No,
you're good, dude.
it's a
Okay,
Discord
you're
now.
good.
That's funny.
All right. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize that my mic was like at full volume and
No,
let me
no,
just
no.
rape your ears real
Yeah,
quick.
dude. No, it was great. Okay.
You have the power, you know. Just
how many
make sure you
wipes?
Wield it with the care.
Okay, so I think I'm like 4 to 5 wipes. I started like mid 2019.
Okay.
And the hour count, is
Ballpark
going to
at it,
be 3,300 hours.
Solid. And do you play auto? Do you play specific servers? How do you pick those?
Sometimes it's auto, sometimes it's like I don't want to deal with this bullshit, so let me just choose specific servers. Give me a second here. Let me throw up the launcher here. My current selected servers are New York, Montreal, Chicago, Toronto, and I don't know how to say this one, but Bayo Harnois.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay. Yes, you do. I mean, you don't pick quiet servers. You pick. Those are pretty. Those are pretty bussin'.
Yeah.
Those are bottom.
I kind of like, it's kind of like really dependent on like when I want to be like, I really want to be involved in like PvP, or when there's times where I'm like, I want to just loot and hopefully have a little chance to bump into people, because servers do matter. Like servers impact scenarios that you get into
100%.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like, if I don't want to do anything, let me just choose some server in like the United Kingdom that nobody connects to, and then I'll just spend a few hours being like, I need to get some loot, so let me just hit reserve for a few hours at nighttime, something like that. Or if I feel like just killing a bunch of people, well, hopefully at least killing people, because I kind of suck sometimes. I'll just hit the high population servers, basically auto selected servers. So
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the feature you think the game needs, man? Like, what would even if you just completely made up, like what would make this game infinitely better for you?
I would hate to sound like a broken record player, and I hope not, but
Okay,
like
dude.
enhanced AI, because
No.
I remember having a scenario once where I was.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave a call now. Bye.
Get out of here! We've heard that. We've heard that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
There's a time where I was having a nighttime raid in woods, and you know where like the checkpoint area is, like before like Sawmill, and then like the scav house or whatever you want to call it. It's been a while since I played because
Yes, I know what you're saying. Where there's like a violet
Okay.
card spawn in the truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
running into there, and I'm thinking, oh, there's no scavs around, and all of a sudden there's like 10 scavs that come out of the woodwork, and they just gun me down. I'm like, holy shit, I got gunned down.
We have a
Did you just get assassinated?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm in my head canon. I think he's actually doing a drug deal right now.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
No, you're good.
You're kind.
Like when I got killed by 10 scavs in a row, it felt like an ambush, and I'm like, wow, I just got killed in an embarrassing way, but I just died in a different way instead of getting head eyes from like 100 meters away from some random scav. And it was like, wow, that was an interesting thing that just happened. Like, I'm glad that this just happened. I thought that was really cool. Or like another idea is that like, that happened, but I would go into reserve and I'm going Gluhar hunting, and people think that Gluhar's not on the map, but he's actually hiding in one of the buildings, and his 6 guards each are posted to watch like a certain stairway or something like that. And as soon as I hear sound, they would like pop up and would like assault, the group of PMCs that are coming up, which I think would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to get like my shit kicked into me by like smart AI. Right. I know that's like impossible, but like I hate when I start a reserve raid with the idea of killing Gluhar, and there's just 3 guards just standing in the middle of the hallway.
Yep.
Like, realistic game, by the way. That just annoys me to hell.
I get frustrated. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm with you. I'm down to have my shit kicked in by something that is actually better than me, not just cheesy.
And I'd like, dude, like I get so I've been playing I've been playing a lot of games recently, but playing, I guess even Rainbow Six has it, but when you like shoot an AI and it hits the AI, they stagger. It's the smallest thing that, like, when I hit a scav with an M4 or an AK, even a shotgun, and I hit them and they don't die, they don't react. They just their shoulder kind of twitches a little bit and they keep talking and walking completely normal. But like, dude, if I shoot you in the give them some life. Give the animations with these some life, because the scavs are not meant to be a true challenge. Like, at the end of the day, they're so brain dead, right? Every player, like, it's more shocking and annoying when you die to a scav, because you're like, why? How the fuck did it kill me? Right? Yeah. And I'm not talking boss AI, like that one's different. Specifically the shitty scavs. Like, I would like to see them a little bit more alive when I shoot them in the leg, if they kind of like, hobbled or reach down, like kind of touch their leg, just something that makes them feel less like literal bots.
I just got shot in my stomach. I think I should run away now.
Right, but instead they just go, what the? And keep like walking slowly to their left, shooting at you.
Once in a while, we get a taste of it, dude, because you'll like shoot them in an arm and they'll give you that like 1 in 100 voice line where they're like, my arm!
Right,
and it feels like this is a scenario that should be happening a lot of times, but it just does not, because the AI is really bad in this game.
100%.
Like, the few times that I get it, still to this day when I get that voice line, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh god, I don't even want to go finish him off. Like, I feel bad now. Like, I wounded him. Like,
yeah, well, because then the two, like,
it's like you're hunting a deer in the woods. That deer just got away from you, and you got
I just clipped it in the leg,
like a piece of shit.
And yet, sometimes when you shoot a scav and they're screaming, their AI will be like, you have to, in their head, the bot's like, okay, I need to go to new cover. But instead, it's so poorly programmed. If you shoot them, they will run at you, past you, to cover behind you. And you're like, that's the most immersion breaking. You wouldn't run next to a target, because every single time that happens, most players who are worth their salt just kind of giggle and let them run by, because in the bot's head, it will never turn and shoot at you until it gets to its new pathing behind you. And so it's like, it's just so dumb. They're so stupid. And they feel gross, man. They just feel gross. They feel like 1.0 Daisy zombies, where they just like hit air where you were, kind of thing. It's just stupid.
Oh yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Sorry, you got me amped up. AI is one of those like talking points for me that like.
No, I got you. I got you, man, because when you're playing a PvE game, AI has to be one of the selling points, and if not, you 100%. Just feel entirely let down. Yeah. And for a game that's had like about 5 to 6 years in development, here we are still now feeling like I'm playing like PUBG.
Right.
PUBG bots are like literally equivalent to just Tarkov bots.
Yeah.
It's like they shoot you, like they'll just shoot you and you're standing there.
Yep.
I mean, excuse me, you shoot them, they're standing there, be like, oh, maybe I should do something about it.
Right.
Well, I'll just stand there and keep on shooting you. Like,
yep.
No, you should probably find cover, peek me, and then try and kill me. But we'll just keep on staying in the middle of the open. It's so annoying, man, because any PvE game needs to have really smart AI behind it, or what's the reason of even playing that game? Just call it a PvP game with a crisp of PvE that is so, like, undercooked that, like, you would get so many, like, fines from, like, the fucking health department that would come in. I don't know.
Oh, I know what I wasn't Siege I was playing. I'm replaying The Last of Us 2, right? And I know, just because somebody's going to say it, where it's like, I'm actually, I know it's a AAA game. Like, I understand that it's one of the best, like, Naughty Dog's like one of the best developers out there. I get it. But it is so fucking refreshing to see AI, like, in that game, the way that they clear things, the way that they check their vision cones, the way that you can, like, if I shoot him in the arm, like if I, let's say I hit his left arm, right, as an example, while he's holding his gun, his left arm will go limp and it'll be less accurate and he'll be like clutching at it. There's like blood. It's like, holy shit, man. It just feels like a different game. And I understand we'll never have that level ever in Tarkov, but like, give me a 10th, give me a 100th of that kind of world interaction, and you have an infinitely better Tarkov, I feel.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally, I agree. Yeah, that's something I would really want. Can I talk about another thing that's not super AI related, but like how I play this game?
Yeah, of course.
No, I know I got you heated, but like at the same time, I'd love to address other things while I have your time here.
Go for it, man.
Is that so a lot of times we'll watch a streamer play games and be like, whoa, I just wiped out a 5-man, and then you look at what they have. They have an M4A1 meta 16 rounder M855A1, and you're like, okay, cool. Anybody could literally do this. Like, it's just put on the spotlight because there's some streaming retard or whatever. So, but anyways, I enjoy.
You really have raised a militant group of viewers.
Yeah, we really don't like streamers.
We really have.
No, I mean I appreciate that because like when I watch your videos, it makes me feel like I'm just watching another average Joe, and that's something that I really appreciate about your content and stuff. So,
stop.
Anyways,
yeah, keep talking. Tell me about your
story. Yeah. No simping or whatever.
Yeah, please.
Like
unless you're gonna pay me.
Here's $1,000, dude.
Anyway, sorry.
So, I really enjoy playing the game, just running around with that really shitty tier 4 diaper rig that will always come back in insurance.
Right.
An RFB with a suppressor, and a Valde or a Voodoo, and that just feels more fun than running around with some metagear because, like, it feels like you're playing a survivalist game. You're like, I'm just giving myself these really shitty odds, but I know I can do something with it. And that just feels fun, knowing that you just have whatever you have, and it's not best of the best. It feels like you're kind of scavengeish. Like, you just have this gun, and you hope you can do something with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I absolutely love.
Well, because it forces you to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The most fun that I had the other day, dude, was when we booted up and just ran revolver shotguns all night.
That sounds super duper fun. Yeah, I would love that.
That was the most fun that I had in Tarkov in the past month.
Yeah, I had a time where we had a 5-man and we just ran around with shotguns and factory and we were just screaming friendly, friendly, friendly. We all got gunned down by the same guy, but it was fun. It just felt refreshing. Like, if you don't play this game all the time, like if you play this game all the time with an M4 and all that shit, having all the best meta gear, you're kind of missing out. Like the main idea of Tarkov, because Tarkov is not a game where you run around with the best of the best gear and fucking people up. It's about surviving. It should be like, I just found those 3 cans of beans, and now I'm set for a few days in the hideout. Like, it should really have a survivalist aspect to it, which is why I think that when Arena comes out, the actual Tarkov game, like the survivalist raid extraction stuff, like, will definitely feel a lot more survivalistic because all the PvPers or like the metagear and stuff will be moving to Arena, because that's what people are going to be expecting, like fast-paced, boom, boom, bam, bam type shit. So.
And I'm curious, man. I think Bad and I have debated this a couple times because I wonder how many of these people, like I think about like a hyper rat. I feel like a lot of these PvPers strictly play the game to watch their ruble count go up. If there is not a number like that goes up in Arena, I do not think that the majority of PvPers are going to migrate permanently to Arena. You know what I mean?
So here's my new age thought on this, because we haven't talked about it in a little while. Yeah, I agree with you still about the ruble count, but what if there are other numbers that go up? What if there's a KD, a kill count, heaven forbid, an MMR,
Arena reputation,
maybe? I just
reputation.
don't know. But here's the I don't know.
So there's going to be some sort of currency.
Yeah, that I got big questions about that whole interaction.
I'm thinking
between
like
arena
maybe
and main.
premium things that stay like, let's say character based, well,
It's
that are like
all
specifically like
speculation.
item based. Maybe it's like extreme training with like a professional who's like a dude that works with connections at like the arena. So after you figured out that you won like 10 matches or whatever, he'll give you like extreme training. He'll give you like 5 more endurance, 5 more strength, or like Weight Watchers training. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, right. You're getting a little chubby, boy.
Yeah, you're a little fat running around, and Tarkov. Let me help you out here, and he just properly teaches you like different like ways to survive out there, how to properly fast, eat food, shit like that. That'd be cool. And then next thing you'll get like 5 extra like energy or water or whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that this game is lacking that a lot of people suggest, but I see the problem is that how big is the actual developer team? Is it considered an indie status, or is it a AAA? I know it's not AAA at all, but like how big is that company?
Yeah.
Because people think it's like hundreds of people are working on this game, but every time I see a screenshot or an image coming from BSG themselves, it's like 5 people sitting at a desk saying, "Hey, we're working on this game." But
yeah,
it is certainly not indie. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But it's definitely not AAA. I would say they have under 100 employees.
Okay.
That'd
hold on. Hold on. Let's pause real quick.
Just from looking at their offices.
Okay. No, we're good. Sorry, I was trying. People were saying the stream was freaking out, but it was a YouTube issue. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was fine on my end. I unpaused and everything sounded fine. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think. I don't know.
Don't.
It's all speculation. We just moved to like. I just want to see it. I mean, here's the thing. Let's start with. Let's just have them get it out, man. I haven't had a piece of something to do, and I know whatever. There's a war. I know there was COVID, but like, I'm tired of talking about the maybes with content. I just want everyone to be quiet until it drops, including BSG. Like, stop with these little baby teasers of 37 screenshots of of streets. No one fucking cares about pictures anymore, man. Either release it or don't. Just shut up about it. No one cares. Nice guy. I don't need the map. But shut up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind them, like, because they've done it for a little bit and then finally came up with like announcements about FSR, like AMD FSR or whatever. Right. But I actually didn't mind that they were like just like in the dark for 2 to 3 months, not talking to anybody, because they're just internally working. Like, I wouldn't, like, it's kind of like when Apex Legends rose up. It was, nobody knew anything about it, and all of a sudden there's just this huge ass battle royale game that was different. What if they took that approach for a little bit, and all of a sudden one day on BSG's Twitter there's like, hey, we got a wipe incoming, and all of a sudden a full set of streets is released? I think that would be absolutely
totally agree.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think at this point, my personal take, what BSG, here's what I think a company should do. But I really feel that for the community's sake, put out one tweet that says, like, hey, because the world's crazy right now, right? They can't say anything about their stances on the war. They can't say anything. So I would just say, hey, we're going dark for a while. We're going to work on the game. We'll give it to you when we give it to you soon. And then go quiet. Just stop. Don't retweet like, ooh, a Tarkov tournament. Don't do these stupid ARG things that confuse the fuck out of the player base. Just like tell them you're going to be quiet. Don't just go quiet so everybody's like, hello, like they have been doing. I would feel better personally. I know some people wouldn't like that, but I would feel better if they said explicitly, we're going silent. We're just going to work. Like, leave it.
Anytime they release little teasers or whatever, what that GIF I put in Tarkov Townhall describes how I feel every time a tweet gets posted about like a little teaser or something like that.
Yeah, right.
That right there. That's literally how I feel.
At this point, I want little hand-holded tweets every week, but I don't want to see no low teasers. I don't want to hear about no content. Every week, Monday morning, whatever time in St. Petersburg, I want a tweet that comes out. These are the bugs we're working on. These are the ones we have fixed coming out in the patch. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
This is the list.
Yeah, totally.
Next Monday, this is the list. Don't talk about nothing else. Don't retweet nobody.
Yeah.
No cute little pictures, Nikita.
Stop doing these dumb things where it's like a Sherpa's guide on how to play customs, and then it's Rengar like run through and just headshot instantly 10 other PMCs, and then you have all the loot to yourself. It's like, shut the fuck up. This is so dumb. Like,
yeah. Hey
Nose
guys,
down
I'm gonna
and get
teach
the-
you
get
how
the thing
to
done.
absolutely destroy lobbies.
Yeah,
Step
right.
1, get level 60. Step 2, have max
Step
stats.
1,
Yeah.
play 6 hours a day. Get a
Yeah,
lot
exactly.
of practice in. Aim for 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's
Have a
so
full-time job
stupid.
playing a video game.
Yeah, right.
That only like 0.01% of like the entire population can like actually do.
Yeah,
Right.
but all right, man. Thanks for coming
Cool,
on.
dude.
That was a good conversation. That was fun.
Yeah, no problem.
You
I
got me
appreciate your
hyped
time,
over
guys.
AI though.
Yeah,
I've got a different energy now. I'm like, fuck AI.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this because it really gets to show different opinions flying about. Because all the time I always see people circle jerking streamers' opinions, and it's really good to see like these new opinions getting shined into the light, such as here. So yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing. So
Of course, man.
Glad you like it, man. Thanks for participating.
yeah, no problem. Appreciate you guys, and take it easy.
Yeah, you too.
Catch
See you,
later,
man.
dude.
See ya.
That was nice.
Feel better now?
I mean, a little bit. It feels a little cathartic to talk about AI. It gets me, dude. It gets me so irked. Dude, especially like I'm telling you, because I've been playing the 2 games I've been playing are Red Dead Redemption 2 and Last of Us 2, and dude, the AI. Oh my goodness!
I'm kicking the next person who talks about AI.
Just the fact that
We don't have time for this.
I can shoot them with a gun, and they go, "Ow! I've been shot with a gun," and they hold the wound. Like, wow, this is mind, bending. And then you get over here, like in Tarkov, I shoot them in the head, and they just happen to have a little bit of extra head HP, and the scav doesn't fucking react. Hello? He's like, "Oh, I got a bit of a headache," and then instantly head me with a taw. It's like, get the fuck out this. What year is this? What year is this? Anyway, I'm done. Sorry, I'm
The
pulling the next
AI
person.
in Hearts of Iron 4 has more flavor than Tarkov.
I know. It's got me.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but you need to tone it down a notch,
Okay,
alright?
okay. I'm done.
We have a time limit,
I'm done.
and we're actually past now, okay?
Listen, you can drop whatever you need to drop.
No,
We'll
I'm just
let's get
kidding.
through like
Yeah,
3 or
I
more.
think it's
3
we
more
were
people.
a little ambitious setting that short of a goal.
Yeah, but then I like talking to people, so I keep pulling
I
them
know,
in.
I'm the same way.
All right, pulling in Fox. Hi, Fox.
Oh shit! Oh hello. The stream's behind, so I didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah, you're in
Oh,
here
good,
now.
dude.
Way to be late.
Damn.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually was practicing on Dome with my Florian M700 because I want to use it to kill Bukar, get that sweet weapons case.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I actually had that. Yeah, I was stuck on that for a while. Hunting, just trying to get him to spawn. But
The bitch is that he doesn't spawn half the time, and then when he does spawn, he's like, "Oh shit, you're 300 meters away. Let me just full auto you."
yeah, right. What? How many hours ish, or how many wipes have you played, and then how do you pick your servers?
First wipe, 301 hours, 26 minutes.
Damn, nice.
I auto select servers.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Damn. First wipe.
So you're
okay.
new. You're new.
And this
I'm
is going to be an
fresh.
interesting question for you.
This
Just
is our first
everyone
not
is
big
listening.
boy of the day.
No, Moo wasn't a big boy. He had 30 hours.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Moo talked
yeah,
about the
true,
spawn
man.
system. Okay, Fox. So you're new. What is a feature that now that you've been playing this wipe that you're like, damn, Tarkov needs this right now?
So, one of the worst things I've encountered when it comes to the game so far is skills. I do not like that I have to play for 400 hours in one wipe alone just to get my endurance up to a certain level so it's playable. Like, I can walk out of with loot, you know? Because sometimes you'll go into reserve and you'll go into the bunker and it's like, oh, nobody looted the raiders. And all the shit's still good to me because I'm only level 30. So I'll grab it and I'll walk out and I'll be like, oh, I can't grab this one item because if I grab it, I won't regen stamina and I don't have stims because I'm not rich. So,
Right.
like, yeah, you need to be able to go and grab some loot and be like, okay, well, I've leveled my endurance up once because I carried 50 kilograms of gear 2 kilometers. It makes sense to level it faster than it is already.
I agree. I
agree.
feel like they're balanced. It's almost like the skills are balanced as if characters would never wipe. And so that's why it takes the time that it does. But
Yeah.
it wipes. So like there's this huge time investment, and like if this is truly a beta and we're supposed to be testing the game, the majority of players will not be able to test or give feedback on the skills because they won't get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
you're
and
not gonna
also-
hit max strength ever
No.
if you just play casually.
Right.
You have the downside of not experiencing last wipe's endurance because they made a change this one to where now all of a sudden you like just skyrocket strength levels up but endurance doesn't climb or something like that. So you're getting a little bit of a mistest, I would say.
I mean, right now it's funny, but highest skill is metabolism, which is for some reason interesting to me. And then everything else is about on par, but then you have some skills like I use assault rifles a lot, and my recoil control is next to nothing. It's like, wait, I full auto people all the time. I shoot guns constantly. I get like 12 scav kills a raid if I can. And, you know, maybe a couple PMC kills here and there. Like I feel like I should be able to handle the AK recoil at this point, especially considering that's all I use. It's weird.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I just wonder. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just I totally just I just blanked.
I'm just thinking about how pretty much I'm thinking about how every single skill needs to be reworked right now. Every single last one of them, how they interact with each other, how you gain the XP, how quick it happens. In couple that with the fact that we still have skills that are not implemented at all. They're sitting there just grayed out.
And then there's tasks that require you to have a set skill, like Jaeger's level 3 sniping.
My
buddy is still stuck on that. He's been playing for 200 hours. He has not hit Sniper 3 yet.
And that's because even oh my goodness, you bring up a great point. Like, dude, it's like kind of how I talked earlier a little bit about like there's a how you have to play the game. The way to do that, you can try and shoot your bolty. That's not how you do it though, right? You'll never. You grab a Mosin with 27 rounds,
you're right.
and you go
Mosin
sit in the
VPO.
corner and reload, and just reload.
Mm-hmm.
You reload all 27. You leave the raid. You go back into another raid with 27 more rounds. That is how people do it. That is not playing the game, in my opinion. That is like gaming the game, right? Like
that's basically grinding. It's not
just
really
what you have to do, and it's so ridiculous that's like that's the expectation in quotes, basically, is like that is how you have to do it. Same thing with like the endurance skill. People can't get it leveled up because they're always overweight with the weight changes, right? And so the thing to do is people will like drop their bag, sprint a full stamina bar in raid, pick up their backpack, and then equip all their stuff, and that gave them like half. But it's like you're not there's no skill, you're not developing anything, you're just like, I gotta cheese it anyway because the game, I need endurance, I need more stamina. It's just yuck, dude. I agree.
Breaker.
Like all of these skills are just so underutilized and not. I don't know. Like I don't ever feel, if I get a max skill, I never feel like I earned it. I didn't earn metabolism. I just get super hungry and thirsty and raid. Yeah, same thing. Like
you're playing Shoreline. You're at like the last 9 minutes. You're like, shit, I'm dehydrating. I better drink water.
Right. It's Ugh.
It gets ridiculous. Like I got killed by a streamer once, and I always like to go into their stream and be like, "Hey, GG's," especially if they're nice about it, or if they were a dick about it, or whatever. I'll be like, "Hey, fuck you, man." I went to this guy's stream once, and I was like a scav. I had a Mosin with no front sight. Right, I'm just hitting interchange stashes because I know the stash route on that map like the back of my hand. So I get killed. I go into the stream, and he gets to extract with all his buddies, and he's just unloading my Mosin. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, you level up recoil just by sitting here shooting a scav gun you find, and then dumping it at the end of the raid." It's like, what? You're basically just power leveling recoil, because if you full auto through 120 rounds of AK ammo that you just happen to not care about, you gain like half a level of recoil control, depending on the gun.
You're right.
In the factory,
I've never thought about doing that. That is really min-maxy.
Yeah, and then people who go into like factory with nothing but a pistol and just sit there and shoot in the corner, it's like, oh yeah, you're leveling up your skills. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That is weird. I've never seen that.
I've never thought about it. I
wouldn't be surprised.
Well, there's like a million things you can. I mean, the old meta used to be. Remember, the strength was like you bring 7 flashbangs in, throw the flashbangs off rip of raid to level your strength, and then.
Oh, that's right.
And then you run.
Flashbangs like 50 fucking USD a piece.
No. The old shitty the shitty flashbangs. I think they're only like. I think they're like
7 to 9K or something. Like that.
Yeah, they're 7,320.
So yeah, those are the ones people used to use because the new ones weren't even in the game yet. But
and they're like the most common flashbang ever too. You'll find them like every gun crate.
Yeah,
you can find them on regular scavs.
So it was just like throw every grenade you have. That's how to get that done. And that was before too. The limits you had on grenades. I think you could buy like.
Buy like 3 a day now, or 3 every few hours.
It used to be like 10. You could buy 10. And then 10 F1s, 10
RG. What are the
RG5s.
yeah.
RG5s,
Yeah. And then like that would be you would just buy all those.
Oh, if you get 16 Zibbos, you can get 8 M67s in one restock.
Yeah, same kind of thing, man. Like, that's just one that people don't use. That's why it hasn't been touched, just because Nikita doesn't know about it. To be fair, that would be gone in a second.
5-second fuse time, so it's basically useless unless you throw it above somebody and it happens to detonate above them.
Well, the way that those are actually used, I mean, it's I throw these long fuse grenades to make somebody move off of a corner, and then you have like 5 seconds, so you push the grenade. You run past your grenade. So like basically, like I feel like I don't use M67s to kill. I just use them to force people to move, and then it gives you time to push and be aggressive. If you time it right. I mean, you see enough videos of even good players throwing a grenade and then they push it and kill themselves with it. But
I have 3 clips in my folder of me doing close to that right now.
Yeah, right.
Where I'm walking the line of killing myself.
I don't remember if it was you or Bad, but one of you were like, the good old Tarkov airstrike, and you started whipping grenades over at a guy in custom. And I started doing that with M67s, because if you time it right on maps like Reserve and Interchange, if you whip a grenade from the back of Goshan, straight up, it'll land on the cash registers and detonate exactly as it does, almost like an impact.
Oh, that's actually really funny. I guess I've never thought about using M67s like that. But yeah, you could totally use them as mortars.
Since they have such a high time fuse, if you throw them in the air, it's not like a VOG where it detonates directly above you, it'll detonate after it hits.
And you can huck those things. I know you can throw a grenade from that building, not construction A, but B should. Yeah. You can throw it all the way into jungle from there.
Really?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. With max strength, you can throw an M67 from there all the way into jungle. Like at the gun.
That's so...
It's one of those aspects where grenades are funky. A lot of the meta gear, I think, needs to be fucked around with too, because that was my other thing I was going to think about for fixing is, as a casual, right? Like, I don't even call myself casual. I've been playing this game nonstop for the last month and a half. And I don't even have access. Like, I can't reliably go and buy an AK every raid. If I find an AKM, if it's at above 70% durability, I'm like, taking this. I'm not going to go buy a new one every time. Right. I got stuff to do it for.
You use what you can.
Yeah, and then I go up against people who play meta, so I'll go like, I'm like, I just want to wear some like scav gear, go out and play the game to have fun, get some loot, get out. That's how I like to play. I like to play my own way. I don't go for quests unless I absolutely have to get an item that I want.
Yeah.
And I keep going against people like, I have to kill 5 raiders in D2 Sand Bunker. I don't mind doing that, but my buddy and I went in with like level 6 plates we've been saving up for the whole raid, like the whole wipe since we started. And all that stuff. We go into this bunker, and I just get pushed by a PMC with a P90, and he insta-headies me, insta-headies my friend, and then we try again, get killed by a Chad who's got a meta M4 and all like class 6 from head to toe, grenades, all that kind of stuff. And this happened 3 times in a row. And then our final raid of the day, we go back to reserve, we get our quest done, like the one where you have to mark the BMP that's in that spot and get the tank battery for mechanic.
Yep.
So we go in there, and as we're walking in, I hear right by my head, and I'm like, well, shit, we're getting sniped at. And my buddy doesn't hear me say this, so he's getting sniped at now. We run in the building. There's a sniper on dome the whole raid, from the start of the raid all the way to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I can complete with a flare and a suppressed bolt action from the top of dome, so I guess I'm just gonna sit here the whole raid and fucking... What's the building? Black?
Yes, this is my house
I don't.
now.
Yeah, I don't know the pawns. I'm terrible about those callouts because I play solo so much. But I know what you're saying.
Across from the garage. No, that's not Black Pawn. That's like Black Bishop or something, or Black Knight.
The motor pools?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like the casual player base cannot compete with Chads ever, and they won't ever be able to unless a lot of things are reworked.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. It's such a mess, man. Like. Yeah.
In a perfect okay, if you could set up a scenario where you have this quote unquote Chad person, somebody who plays a whole bunch, is kitted out, 60 rounders, whatever metrics.
I'm thinking like a streamer who plays every day kind of.
Sure.
Deal,
let's take this dude. Let's take this dude and put him in corner of A, and then let's take a casual player, doesn't play a lot of Tarkov, but maybe he has FPS experience. Mm-hmm. Put some level 20 under gear in, like let's just say the single shot 54R rifle, that brand new one.
I think so.
I mean, there's a couple chances that he wins that.
There is, but you have to take into account the gear, because most likely, if you're a guy who's playing like like full time all the time, he's gonna have an impact on you or something like that. So he's probably just gonna whip it across the building, hit you instantly, and that's that.
I'm just saying it's not like a zero sum. There's chances, but I agree with you. Like
that's
they're
why
not
I'm not
set up to win.
Like, I'm mad that there's such a difference, but at the same time, I have an AS Val, 2 of them, and they're both fully loaded with SP6. So I know if I need to bring something out good, and I go into somebody's house and they're sitting up there on the stairwell, I probably have a chance. Like, my fire rate's faster, my bullets will go through your level 4 plates or your level 5 or 6, whatever you're wearing. It's fine.
Yeah.
But to get that, you have to pay 100k, and then you have to spend 1,000 rubles around in the ammo, and then 8k per mag, and then you have to filter in your gear. So if you play casual, you don't have money. There's a lot of the times you can counter chads, of course, if you have like heavy weapons like an SA-58 that you happen to find, even if it's just a shitty one from a scav. But
yeah, you have to have something in your favor. You can't be sitting there with like a PM or something. But
it ain't. Well, a PM ain't gonna do anything even against a scav that's naked. So
yeah, they'll take 4 rounds to the forehead and smile at you. But
we had a scav take a FTX light slug directly to the head yesterday.
Listen, don't get me started on these scavs again. I'm gonna have another moment.
I told you, I'm kicking the next person that talks about AI.
No,
one morning.
No,
I'm just saying damage is funky sometimes, especially against scavs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I 100% agree. I can't get into it. I'll have a moment, but. No, I mean, thank you for coming on. I think you have a unique perspective too, especially since it's your first wipe. It's interesting to like focus on the skills as something that like you have identified off rip as like, this is weird. This is kind of ass. Like I
came from Stalker and Metro and all those other games, so I was like, wait, this feels weird that I'm not like actually leveling anything, or the world doesn't really change around me as the game progresses because I unlock new things. It's like, oh, you have a new AQ now. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, everything's the exact same. It's just what you take in with you and have access to that's different. Like, the game does not change.
Get a guy at home in the middle of a reserve raid, or if like the guys in interchange happen to be a 5-man. Right.
No, exactly. Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate this conversation. I think this was a good one.
Been looking forward to this for 2 weeks.
Good luck with Gluhar, man. Get yourself that weapons case.
I've got to get to the task first, which is the hard part.
I wish you the best of luck.
I'm mainly doing it for my buddy because he wants to do it. So.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, as your first wipe, the bosses, I think those are the best tasks in the game. Those are the ones I have the most fun with, are hunting bosses. So.
I accidentally killed Sturman on Woods a few days ago.
That's huge. That's a good feeling.
Died immediately after, so I didn't get his food. That's funny.
That's not a good feeling.
He bleeds
yeah, you told him.
I mean, he had his like head peeking right between like just enough out of a metal girder by like the back shacks, and I shot him once with the 58. I flopped over. I was like, oh, good. Walked up to him, and then I died, and I was like, I didn't kill Sherman, did I? And I checked my kills, and it was only Sherman. I'm like, wow, thanks, game.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Fox. You have a good Sunday, man.
Best of luck on your first wipe adventure, dude.
Yeah, it's going well so far.
Yep. Stick to it.
That's funny.
He's a cool kid.
Feel bad. He's having fun now. Wait until he has to hunt Killa.
Oh no.
He's like, I have 300 hours. I'm like, it'll take you another 300 just to find Killa.
Yeah.
Good luck, my boy. Good luck.
And then once you find him, that is when the battle begins, my boy.
I hope you have impact grenades. That's funny. Okay, so next is chips.
I believe it's chips, yeah.
Yeah, let's how many more do we want to do? You got time for like 3 more? Like hard stop at 1.
Want.
Okay.
I thought it was funny that
no, I also
like our time. Yeah.
As soon as here's the thing, like I had said this was gonna be 2 hours long, but then like you get in here and you start talking to him, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't want to stop.
You're like,
let's keep going.
Everyone's gonna get 10 minutes,
and then I see people's
points. You look at the clock, and you're like 25 minutes in, like, fuck.
Yeah, I know, but like, yeah, exactly. Fuck, it's a good conversation. Anyway, okay. Chips.
Let's get chips.
Here we go. Hello, Chips.
Hello.
My boy?
Chips.
Buddy?
Maybe he stepped away because that delay, you know?
Maybe there's a delay. Yeah, let's give him like 15 seconds.
Yeah, wait.
I hear it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Discord just fucked up. My bad.
Oh, no,
you're good, dude.
Alright, what's up?
Dude, nothing much. How are you?
Perfect.
Good.
Enjoying the wipe.
Yeah, well, there. That's okay. So this is going to be a unique perspective.
I like the way this is starting.
No. How many wipes have you played, and what servers kind of thing?
I think I played like 3 or 4.
Cool.
Around 2K hours, maybe more. Not sure. And I play auto EU for the most part.
Okay, you're an auto enjoyer. There's nothing. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that another auto EU I heard?
He did say an auto EU.
Okay.
Sometimes I change servers so the Chinese or the Asians can't connect because there's too many cheaters there.
Yeah.
Like,
So I was just gonna get that question out of there. I just off the rip. Compare your experience to the other auto EU guys.
well, I rush loot, so I encounter cheaters a lot more because I know where the loot is, and so I see more cheaters. So when I get, like right now, it's not a problem anymore because the wipe is so dead now, or so far into the wipe that it's not as competitive anymore.
Yeah.
So it's probably not a good comparison right now.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the wipe, like it's horrible, and I go to servers where I know there are less cheaters, but. Or sometimes I just play NA East, and that's also better.
Yeah.
I've never played on EU servers myself because I don't like ping abusing. Yeah.
He just called out like half the streamers.
But yeah, no, I would just want to get a perspective, see if it's anything comparable to NA, and it sounds very similar. So I don't understand why people come to play NA.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, but Chips, so I guess the next, the big question of the hour is, like, what do you want in Tarkov? What features, what changes, like, what do you think's what would be such a game changer for you that would make Tarkov, like, infinitely better?
Okay. I have a big one for you. I think it's going to blow your mind.
Okay, I swear if you say never mind, just go ahead.
So this feature, another game already implemented.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say is not just speculation, it's somewhat based on another game.
Okay.
And this feature is going to do more than 10x the player base, get rid of RMT, most of the cheaters, more content.
He's going to be like, so I shut down the game. I turned off the servers. What'd you say? I'm sorry?
And also perfect balance, like the skill issues with like you talked with Fox.
Okay.
And 2 words, private servers. Make when you start the launcher that you're not only available to select all the BSG servers, but open source parts of the code. They're probably never going to do it because their code is so spaghetti that they are never going to be able to implement this feature.
Sure.
But if they could, then have like community-driven servers where they have their own moderation, where they have admins that can fly around to ban cheaters, where they have custom rule sets, where they can change the multipliers on how much the spawns of certain loots, how much XP you gain, all that kind of stuff, how many players per server, like everything that is customizable, basically, that is exclusively in the hands of BSG. Make that all customizable for private servers. And then you have this same effect that you have in the game that I was talking about, Rust, which is very similar, where you have base building, which is basically the hideout. Every time you leave your base, you have sort of a gear set, and then you have in your home base you have like stash or like boxes where you can put all the little loot and stuff. And what ends up happening is you have faster wipe cycles with custom rule sets for the people that really like PvP. You have roleplay servers for people that really enjoy getting into a storyline or having like community driven that is completely different to the base game. You have like clan servers where they're allowed to team up with giant amount of player base. Like basically you split the community, and the community does a lot of the work that BSG has to do now, like the balancing, which is never working, the fighting RMT, which doesn't make sense when the server is like private, and or it makes less sense, much more less sense, because you have private wipes, you have like, all this stuff. The cheaters can get banned by admins, so the moderation, like the best cheat detection is actually a human.
Sorry, I don't want to. I want to stop you before we get too far because I want to talk.
I'm
about
sorry,
this.
I was rambling too
No.
much.
You're doing no. I'm okay. I'm gonna critique it, and you defend it and talk me through this, okay? Just so I understand.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, I personally don't see how this would work unless I guess let me understand first. Are you talking about once Tarkov's open world?
No, right now.
How the fuck do you... Okay. All right, hold on. Now I've got more questions. Okay, so you're saying right now we switch to private servers with all their own configurability and like the way that the stash works, etc.
Yeah, basically like the test server, right? Like the ETS.
Right. No. Yeah. No, I remember. I got banned from ETS. I remember. But like, how does that work in a raid though? Like oh fuck. I've got so many questions now. I don't see how this works with a raid-based system. I understand like separating out from BSG so you could do your own thing. Fuck. I don't.
So it's like I don't know because I haven't read the code, but
of course.
The basic architecture of the game is basically you have this master server, which is like the server that manages the stash, the flea market, and all the slave servers, which are the ones that run the raids, right? Like you have this. So and that is the whole architecture that you would have to copy.
So of course, but they would not touch. They would not interact with each other, right? Just to be clear, private server characters would not touch live, and private to private, unless they were under the same like server owner, would not interact. Correct?
Yeah. Like you have different masters basically. Like you have ETS, which is a different master. Right. You have different stash. Different,
I'm following
all that stuff. Yeah.
I
They also no server costs for them, because then the community makes those servers, pays the money for them.
Yeah. But what do you?
My main critique, because in a perfect world, again, if we're just going to talk about perfect situations, dude, no problem. That sounds okay. However, it's not, and you can't just flip that switch and expect to get that 10 times population. I feel like you got to have it already. Like you can't just like expect people to like come out of thin air to enjoy these wide ranges of server. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. But like the game is already one of the most popular games ever, so I think it's not a problem.
And then,
especially in the beginning of the wipe when the servers are like burning.
I think that feature would be best implemented if we get the multiple characters, so that it's just an easy transition between, like, you can have 3 characters, so that's on 3 different flavors of server, for example. You got your live example. You got your live, you got your 10x loot, and you got your role play character.
I don't mind. Here's the thing: like, I actually don't mind the idea, and I don't buy the argument that people will be like, well, it'll kill the player base, it'll split them up too much. I really do feel like there will be people who already don't play Tarkov who will only jump on and play the RP servers. Like, I feel like I agree with the sentiment that it'll add to the player base overall. Because I think about too, all the people who play SP Tarkov and not main, they will come back to private servers. They're already there's thousands of people already playing the modded version offline, right? Like,
yeah, you got a point.
So I'm like, I'd rather interact with those players on an RP server that is approved by BSG and has like cool community guidelines. Like,
you know what? Actually, you're right. I'm a giant fucking hypocrite because I've said that if BSG put out private servers or enable private servers, I'd be okay. So yeah, you're right. I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite.
Like, I guess I'm critiquing it because I'm saying like when I think about this, I'm looking at it, I'm saying this sounds stupid because in my frame of mind, I'm like, there's a way to play Tarkov, and it's the way BSG set up. But the people who don't like how BSG have it set up have already left the game, right? And they go and play other games, like Chips has brought up. So I say, actually, fuck it. If it's not going to impact me anyway, if I don't like this, if I say, hey, Chips, this idea is stupid, I hate you, you're dumb, like, then...
Oh, you smell too.
Yeah, right, and you smell. Like, if I say that, like, dude, I can still go play the regular BSG servers with no changes. It does not affect me. If they added these in today, it would not affect me in any way, because I could choose to keep playing the regular, like, base game. So I actually, I changed my tune. I say yes. I agree. I say let's try it. I don't care.
Also, like how much resources and how much energy BSG is wasting on trying to balance and combat RMT. Yeah. And if the community finds out through like competition of private servers what rule set is what the community prefers in general for like parts of the game. For example, it's on reserve, the spawn rate should be roughly this. Or if you want to have, I don't know, the price of some item, it should be roughly about this. And then BSG doesn't have to do all this micromanaging of different items and trying to combat RMT if the community can already find solutions by simply competing against each other.
We find our own balance, and BSG can just copy it if they choose.
Or they take inspiration, or it's like a different experiment. Like this is what BSG used to do in the past, right? They make like a vibe with like drastic change and kind of see what happens.
No,
right?
I totally agree.
You have to do that.
Yeah,
here's another plus side.
We just talked about this too. We just said, what if they did league servers with weird rules? We just talked about this. We just said, what if it's BSG sanctioned? Now I'm saying, no, I agree. I agree with Chips wholeheartedly. I say, fuck it. I don't care. Let's try it. Honestly, like...
I was going to say another plus side of it, to give it even more credence, is these server providers are going to have hands-on with the code. We're going to get different little hot fixes and mods that enhance the game. They'll fix the bugs that BSG can't.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I mean, how many games, so many of them have unofficial patches that you download online that modders have made to make games better, so...
Dude, actually, I full send this idea. I like it.
Because here's the thing, you know that somebody's going to have the idea that's like, hey, I like BSG's game, but there's a couple things like boss spawn rates, somebody comes out with an AI mod, and a hotfix mod, and that's all they have. You know what I mean? Better AI and hotfixes, and that's all that's added, and it's the base BSG game. Same thing, wipes every 6 months. There, you just have a better. You just have a better product. Somebody's gonna do it. They do it with DayZ. The super simplistic, like, it's just DayZ but better and cleaned up.
DayZ Vanilla is still struggling with things like cars and stuff, but if you play any modded server, they're
helicopters. You know, like
they're better.
And Escape from Tarkov is based on Stalker, or is inspired by Stalker to a degree. And in Stalker, you have this giant modding community. They make like Stalker right now, like some of the earlier titles with huge amounts of mods are so popular right now. There's like
Gamma, whatever.
I think like Stalker Anomaly or Stalker Gamma or something like this.
It's Anomaly and then Gamma like subset. So it's the Anomaly mod, which like wraps them all together in a free package. And then Gamma is like a subset upon that adds in like guns and
just that had like 50,000 downloads on the day they released it or something. Like, it's crazy, and it just shows you that if you give the community more power, then you will be rewarded. But I think the problem is that BSG has so much spaghetti code. They couldn't do this. Like they grew into this now bigger studio from this where I think they want to finish the game, they want to release it and then do other things, because they kind of have to start over, because there's like so much. I don't think they're going to develop the game for many more years, because they run into so many problems, because they have like this growing monster of a code base, and every time they fix something, they break 5 new things, and then like this, it's just, that's why I think the progression. They right now they can't release Streets of Tarkov because simply the engine doesn't support what they're trying to do when you get like 30 FPS or something like that.
No, I agree. No,
they just run into some technical limitations unless we have like CPUs of the ultra next generation, where because the game is so heavily CPU bound that like.
No, I agree. Yeah, I was completely, to be honest, you came in and I was like, all right, this is a unique idea, but I'm going to fight you to the death because I think it sounds stupid. Like, I don't see how it works, I guess. Not that it sounds stupid. But I've changed my tune completely. I actually would take this tomorrow. 100%.
There's hurdles to jump, but I want it. Yeah.
Let's pretend, like if we pretend they're not here. I completely... Overall, I'm like, I think this would really be better, because here's the thing too. What happens after two months, or like right now where Tarkov feels super stale and I know I have to wait till Christmas or January, I would just go play a wacko modded server. Wow, we had fun playing with revolvers, and stuff like that. What if there's servers that have the rules where it's like, hi, there's only bolt action weapons and pistols. So, okay, I'll do that. Like, that sounds weird.
I would try out the DayZ rule set where there's like one gun on a map. And 90% of the time, you just walk around with your freaking hands out. I would give that a go too, dude. Like,
yeah, good job, Chips.
Yeah, and that's
interesting.
Why I've been enjoying this wipe so much more than the last wipe is simply that I made a simple rule that I just reset my account on cooldown. Like every 3 weeks, I'm resetting my account.
Oh,
And
interesting.
even though I kind of hate it because of this inertia system, which makes it really annoying, it's not a full wipe, but it gives you the kind of this feeling of like, oh, now I have to struggle again, because now I've played the game so much, I don't struggle in the game anymore. I play solo only. I farm everything. I know everything. So the game is not hard, and I don't like hardcore or something. I don't like that.
No, I don't think hardcore is very good either. But yeah.
So I just reset my account on cooldown, and it gives me this fresh. I hate the quests, but then I just go farm money, or I try to PvP, or like it gives you this feeling of like it's not fun having 20 million in your 20 million ruble and just building meta shit and then just
agree,
because there's nothing to do in the game. Like,
agree.
Nothing to
and
do.
after you hit a certain
PvP
skill point,
is not worth it.
No, there's no rewards to PvPing. Yeah. No, I agree. Damn, Chips, thank you. You brought up that's a unique one. I have not heard everyone else.
I like
that not everyone else. I'm not saying everyone else has bad ideas. I'm just saying like that was the first like out there idea that I've heard today. Like dramatically out there, and I like it. I think it's cool. Good shit. That was good. I like that conversation.
Thanks for sharing, dude.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one. See you, man.
Catch you later.
Private servers.
That's an interesting idea.
That's a unique one. Dude,
like I said, man, I'm open to it. There has to, that as someone said in the chat, like, that
BSG has to
requires
swallow their pride.
BSG losing control. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll never do it, but I think it would make this game infinitely better.
Yeah, and I think that they would. It's almost like ripping off a Band-Aid. Like it just needs to happen because they'll enjoy it when it's done. Because they can just
they can take some of these codes, these mods, and just fix their fucking game. Dude, free labor. Let somebody else design a hotfix. You take that code and just kind of spruce it up and put it in yours. Like, dude.
You have all these people, like, this is the one time I will say anything like this. You have people like Logical Solutions who have a skill set and a very strong passion for your game. Let them work.
Right.
Let them do stuff of value.
Yeah.
Instead of making them your little pariah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going in a speed mode for these last 5 people, so just know that since we're coming near to the end, we're going to kind of speed this up.
Speed round.
Lightning round. But we do have the queue locked down, so I have that in chat and in the Discord, but these are the last 5 people we're going to run through, so we're going to get moving a little bit quicker here. First we have Spongos. Spongos, hello.
Spongos.
Spongos? Can't hear you.
Spongos, buddy. There he is.
Wait.
Hey, boss.
Hey, there he is.
Talk again.
Hey, boss.
There
How's
you
it
go.
going?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. All
right, so we got you in a bit of a speed round now, so I'm going to interrogate you real quick. About how many wipes have you played? How many hours? How do you select your servers? That kind of stuff.
First wipe, 300 hours, auto select.
Ooh.
US.
The first wiper.
We have another interesting person. Okay. Spongos, what feature? What's your big, please Tarkov add this right now and make the game infinitely better?
I think there needs to be more interaction between, people on the maps. I mean, first of all, playing with the squad, it's already kind of pain in the ass to get everyone in and we have to go to the same map. Which did you go to, the morning or the afternoon one? I have to select you. I invite you from there. Why can't there just be a lobby system?
Yep.
And then once we're in the game, we can't really do anything. We can call out to each other and we can shoot at the same people. But why can't I go over and heal my friend? I mean, there's a defibrillator in the game.
Yep.
If he goes down, why can't I take care of him?
No, there's no roles. You can't have a team medic. You can't have the guy who brings in extra ammo.
There's no reason to have an LMG person, a sniper, or DMR. There's no reason to have a close quarters guy. Just everyone bring a mutant with an LPVO.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if I do die, I mean, I play both me and my friend. This is our first wipe that we've been playing, and he's usually who I play with.
Cool.
But it's not uncommon with us not being very good. One of us dies, and the other one runs away. Why can't I spectate him? And I know that could lead to abuses of
sure.
always giving call outs, but if they're really that worried about it, they could put like a delay on the spectating, which there probably will be anyway with this game's netcode.
People
I'm just
stream
gonna
in
stop you right
Discord
there.
anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I'm
fucking
gonna
matter.
slow that down.
Yeah.
There are streams with thousands of people, which is double the eyes looking at a screen. So
Yeah.
me watching my buddy is nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing.
spectating your buddy, there's no excuse for it. If Landmark and Pestily can play together, and when Pestily dies, he can pull up Landmark's stream and just be like, oh, they just put it in game. There's no,
Yeah. No. Yep.
there's no.
Let me
So I
spectate.
agree with you, Spong. Like, there's no good excuse for them not to have that.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to stop you just to say that I support you wholeheartedly because that's so dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, that'll also make it more interesting if you run into randoms and you want to be friendly with them. Like, if you're able to like heal people or whatever, like, hey,
Yep.
I need meds, you know. Well, I don't want to take it out of my alpha and throw it to you because
Yeah.
you might just kill me right after. But if I'm able to go up and actually heal you directly, I know it's getting used for what it's like.
Right.
You can't kill me. And that could also could add depth to other systems, right? I know you don't like scav karma, but like if there was more
No, but it's
depth
okay.
to it, if there was more depth to it, like say at like 1.5, scavs will like not shoot at you unless you shoot at them first. And then what if I'm able to find a scav that's hurt, heal him, and get scav karma that way?
Sure,
And if
yeah.
I get to 3 scav karma, like if I'm hurt, if a scav has meds, it'll walk up to me and like, hey, it'll heal me.
That would be
And
cool.
you can make it more interactive with the like environment in the game while you're
Love
playing.
it.
I totally
Love
agree.
it.
One of my biggest critiques is that like raids don't feel, the game feels very superficial. It doesn't feel like I'm stepping into a world that exists in the sense that like it feels more like players are spawned. There's a blank map and then they drop players. They drop these bots that spin in circles and they drop loot. Like nothing feels tethered to the world. It just feels like everything is literally placed. And other games do a better job of making it feel like you're actually going into an environment. Like DayZ feels better, where it's like the zombies actually always kind of feel to me like they exist on the map, and running into players feels, does that make sense? Like it just has a different air and a different feel to it compared to Tarkov, which is just like you're going to see somebody, they're not really in the world, they're sprinting through the world to touch the loot, the best loot in one spot and then grab it and leave kind of thing. And that's why I critique scav karma, is because it feels very superficial right now. If it was a deeper system that had more to it, I wouldn't be as against it. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about scav karma because I'll have a conniption.
I'm going to for a second.
Okay, I'll shut up because I'm going to.
It feels schizophrenic to me. I mean, you have this situation where you earn the scav karma both on your scav and your PMC. Your PMC benefits from it by like getting cheaper rates at the cars and stuff. But also, every single scav wants to kill you, except the drivers of the cars. So like, yeah, I'm like max scav karma, but still all the scavs want to kill me besides the guy in the wheel. Like, why can't I just throw 5k on the ground to that random scav that's yelling at me? And he's like, ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to murder me anymore. Or like what you're describing, or something like, like where you have a good relationship with the scavs on customs. So when you go there and you're getting pinned down by someone, they fucking ignore you and go help you out. Like, goddamn. It could be done in so many better ways.
Sorry, Spong, what were you saying?
Yeah, I agree. And then on the other side, like, I have 6 scav karma, but I'm a PMC, and yes, I'm getting cheaper cars, but I'm going to genocide every single scav on the map, and they're going to be like, fences.
Makes no sense.
This is still cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This guy's still good. He's only killed about 300 of us, but he's good. He's good.
That's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, they'll just respawn this map because you said it's just a blank map with loot,
It gets my jimmies all rustled because it just makes no sense at all.
But yeah, that's basically, for me, that would be the best thing if you could interact with people, like heal them and interact with, and just make squatting up less a pain in the ass, unless, I died first and he still has to do his quest. All right, I'm either going to do a scav run or I'm going to watch a YouTube video for 20 minutes. Just ping me when you're out,
Yeah, I think, that'd be so cool if there was something you could do to stay invested in that raid when you have a teammate in it. Whether that is just like bare minimum, you spectate your teammate, or something else. I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be other things that you can do. I mean, some people, if they have one server selected, they just go back and they scav, and they'll almost always get back into the same raid. So they'll just walk up to their body, put back on all their shit, and then keep going with their with their friend, but I feel like that's the most cheese. Like, you shouldn't get 2 lives. Like, it shouldn't be an expectation that, like, oh, just scav real quick and you can jump back in and go get your stuff. Like, that's stupid. But I do think, yeah, there are better ways to be invested in that raid and interact with the raid. Or maybe make the environment more alive too. Make it so that, like, you know, some maps have the power switches that activate things or buttons, but like make more shit happen, make shit move. I don't know, like airdrops was a good touch, but it's not there yet. I don't know. So much of it's just I turn on a button here just so that something else is turned on. I feel like there's ways that the map itself could move or do things, or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, just
it's press a button so I could stop playing the game. You know, so
yeah, right. Exactly. I don't know, man. I just think it'd be cool if they could just do something more with these maps too and make them more interactive. And I mean, DayZ's got the whole, I use that as an example because it's what always pops up in my head, but there's like certain items you have to bring to plug in to complete like a puzzle, and it opens up like a portal. And then there's a whole nother part to the next area, but it's the why I keep pointing to, like, I wish there were like underground bunkers. It's like you bring a key card, you swipe a key card, maybe it takes 5 minutes and an alarm's going off. So like people know you're going to try and get in. And then when you get inside, it's only open for a minute and there's like good loot and people, you know, I don't know, like just anything to make the raid feel more alive and like there's actually, you know, you're actually making a difference and doing something, as opposed to like sprinting to tech light, grabbing a GPU, shoving it up your ass and leaving.
Yeah, I mean, we have a similar system with the keys already, like, but all they use it for is like, oh, I open a key and I get in one room and I get some nice loot and I leave.
Yeah.
Like, what if a key, and I mean, factory keys can lead to exits, but like, what if there's something more? What if there's a boss that's hidden behind a key? Like, what if one of the bosses can only be reached by a key, right?
Sure. Yeah. No, anything.
Interesting.
Anything. Just like, fuck. Yeah. Anything.
Just try stuff.
But it's a beta. We're testing. Do anything, man. Just do something. No, I agree.
I like all these ideas for keys. I like there being more options for using them. Right now, I have like 8 or 9 factory keys that I'll just never use.
Right.
Because I only use them to shortcut.
Yeah.
Just what's the point of it? I can't drop them to my buddy.
Right. As a delete.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, and even some of that, like on the initial point, a lot of the stuff that does punish, I understand the need to punish RMTers and all that.
Yeah.
But like, why can't I, like, my buddy is the one with the quest, but I have to bring the key in, and then if I die before him, I'm like, all right, you're SOL. Like, I feel like a lot of those RMT, like, anti things have punished people just legitimately playing with their friends and, like, trying to, I don't know, progress in the quest line and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like it doesn't feel like most changes, or like, what am I trying to say? Those RMT changes don't feel like, I know they said, yeah, it definitely hit RMTers. Dude, all it has felt like is a punch in the balls for regular players trying to play the game in a team setting as BSG told us to, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's kind of telling that, like, it seems like for all the people that have set it up to this point, it seems like a lot of people have gotten this call, like, oh yeah, I run solos, or I run solos, like it seems to me, like, anecdotally, at least, like, this game that's supposed to be like, oh, we're team, we're doing tactics, we're doing military stuff. Well, everyone's just going to run it solo anyway, because that's just the way that people are doing it. Because there's no reason to run teams. It's a pain in the ass already. I mean, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it.
No, I think, I agree with a lot of that. And you made a good point. And it's interesting, too, again, that you just bring this up as, like, the basic things that, like, you see in other games, and Squad and Hell Let Loose, the basic interacting. If it's a squad-based game, why can I not interact with my squad beyond queuing up, right? Like, that I really agree with. Why can't you heal them? Why can't you do anything with them? I don't know.
Yeah, let me throw down this artifact, and it's going to get lost in the grass, and we spend 20 seconds. It's night, so I'm turning the flashlight on my shotgun, like, where did I drop it? I don't know.
No, exactly, man. That's, yeah. No, exactly. I know, you know, some people are going to be like, well, they've announced they're working on it. But it's like, dude, that just seems like such a small, Oh my goodness, it just seems like such a small thing to work on. Like it seems like such an easy implementation. Just healing your teammate seems easy. I don't know. It annoys me. I agree though that it would be nice to have that level of interaction, but
maybe we eventually get the private servers, like the previous caller said. Someone can implement that in a mod. And then...
Yeah, right. Put it in quicker. That's the thing about mods that always makes me laugh is like modders put in features that the devs say they're going to get to eventually. Modders do it in like a day, and then like it almost never happens in the primary game. Like it just takes forever. But
yeah. It's like I don't think anyone has actually played vanilla Skyrim, but like it's one of the most bought games. Like it's up there on the list. Right. So I think you think other devs would like learn like, oh, we can use mods and that it boosts our sales, it boosts engagement, Right. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most devs do. The vast majority of them, I think they do. Yeah. This one, they seem very opposed to that idea.
Yeah. But all right, well, Spongos, thank you so much. I'm sorry for getting you in a bit of a lightning round, but
no, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it,
dude. Oh, anytime.
You guys hosting these?
Of course, of course.
Man.
Have a great Sunday, man.
Have a good one, man.
See ya.
Dude, they're getting me worked up now. Where he's like, yeah, hey, this is my first wipe, and here are basic things that I'm identifying aren't in this game that's supposed to be hyper realistic. Right. I can't help my team except throw down. Except saying, yeah, you can loot this guy. You can loot this guy. Fuck, man.
Oh, you need something? Here, let me throw it on the ground for you. I'll leave it in his chest room.
Yeah, right. Here, search my backpack because it's going to clip through the floor. Stupid shit. Yeah. All right, we're pulling Fluff back in. We did talk with Fluff last time.
I like that guy's point. With the person-to-person interactions, though, I thought that was really cool. And also the ideas with the scabs, man, that it's really missed opportunities on that shit. But yeah, Fluff. He was last time, right?
We talked to him last time. Fluff, welcome back to the town hall. How are you?
Dying, yeah. I'm doing pretty good.
Dying? Are you sick?
No, it's called I have a driving test tomorrow, and it's this fucking book. I've been out for like 30 minutes while waiting.
No, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna get you in a little bit of a lightning round.
How dare you?
What's the big feature?
I think for me is bringing back that old recoil, but making it so, say like your arm gets fractured out of nowhere, instead of just having it be, oh, your aim's a little bit shaky, it should actively affect like how your recoil is controlled.
Yeah.
And even in front of that, like say one arm's black, like, oh, maybe you can't ADS now or something. Both arms black, your hip fire's fucking terrible. Something like that to bring more immersion to the fact that your arm has bullets inside of it. You are not able to use it.
Well, doesn't it impact, I mean, if you're not painkillered?
Recoil, no, it's literally only like, it's only just like, oh yeah, your gun's fucking shaking in your hands, you're out of breath, it's wobbling everywhere.
I think, isn't it just screen effects when it's your arms, right? Like,
I mean, it's also just like your aim, it's not like staying steady at all. It just kind of jumps up and down a little bit because your fucking arm's messed up. And I think another thing for me is maybe like keys not always having a set 40. Like maybe you could get lucky, find with like 60 max or something, but next one time you find that same key to have like 30.
Yeah.
Like more variation in the fact that not every key is gonna have the exact same fucking
like the usage thing where it's like not every key is gonna have the
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because like they tried it with 100, it was like, yeah, like unless you just gained nonstop, you never really burn through your keys. But 40 feels like, I'm burning through these a little bit fast.
Yeah.
But say you got lucky, you get one like 70, like, damn, that's crazy.
No, I mean that makes sense. Because here's the thing, I also agree. There's some keys that I'm annoyed that they only have 10 twists when the loot is so low in these rooms. Like even look at like Dorm's marked room. I mean, those are empty. I feel like half of my 10 twists, the dorm's marked room is empty. So it's like, why only 10, why only 10 uses? That's a hot zone you got to run into, risk your life and kit. I just don't know. That's so strange to me.
I think something else to be making the loot in marked rooms makes sense for the fucking marked rooms. Like it should be stuff like maybe like the gun presets that cultists have or whatever.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
The cases make I can understand some of the cases, but not like a fucking medical case or a hollow. Like,
Yeah. No, that definitely. That part
I think
makes
a final
sense.
one I'm still bitching about is please fix like just how loot spawns. Reserve and
Yeah.
interchange were gutted after the shit they did.
Right. Yeah, and now
Just
everything's on Lighthouse.
Lighthouse is just better reserve. That's just it. If you need the reserve loot, you just play Lighthouse.
Right.
There's no reason to play the map anymore.
No, I mean, you're only going for raiders if you go to reserves,
say
but even
as I
then,
play the map.
it's outshined by rogues. Like-
Oh no, exactly. And another thing is like I think that there should be a range where like say a rogue spots you, but you're a bear. He should still act like you're a USEC until it's like he can clearly see like that's not a USEC.
Sure.
Kill that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I mean that part makes sense.
And even like then, like say like you have like a pom pom and a shitty mask on. Say you like almost bump into a scav, like he could think maybe, oh, he's also a scav.
Yeah.
Or something. Just like make it so that it's oh, I'm about to get an AI. Almost got an AI. My bad.
Right.
It's just okay. I think another thing would be is that why the rogue bosses like never at their fucking compound. I don't get that.
Yeah, sure. Like then again, I don't know how they work already. The way that the current implementation kind of makes me roll my eyes with those. The way that I think it's cool they can spawn on various maps, I guess, but the overall like I don't understand why they're done like that.
Yeah, because four on customs almost makes sense to me. Like that one makes some sense, but like fucking weather station on shoreline, huh?
Right.
Like I don't get that part.
No, that makes sense.
I think okay, this is like the most fucking wild, hopeful dream ever, but procedurally generated interchange. I've been stuck on this idea for like 2 years. It just seemed like it'd be so cool.
Sure, like you shuffle the maps. Wasn't that Drewski? Yeah. I think he put out a video a while back.
I think something I heard about that, but like that's just been stuck in my mind. Like that'd be fucking badass.
It is for that map alone is a good idea.
Yeah, because it's the map that would make the most sense with it.
Yeah.
Because say customs, like that wouldn't work. Reserve, that wouldn't work. Nothing else would really work with it.
But that one will have to come hand in hand with the task rework, right? Because I swear to God, I will march my ass to BSG headquarters and change the task myself if they still have that touch all the stores task in one trip, and I gotta walk through the whole goddamn thing and find all those stupid ass stores. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
change it up a little bit.
I think another like kind of big thing for me is like maybe make like I don't know. I feel like that not all suppressors and like fucking barrels and everything should always have the set like they always come perfect. Like I feel like someone's like maybe get unlucky, find a really shitty barrel or something, put it on your gun, starts fucking overheating really fast.
Yeah.
There's more depth to the parts affecting how your gun fucking acts and shit.
Now that I wish it wasn't just like everybody knows to put these couple little parts on because the gun's gonna act the same way. You know what I mean? Like here's the meta setup. There's so many. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of parts in the game that just aren't utilized whatsoever. Because they're not the best.
Something better.
And once you unlock them at the traders, it's cheaper to just buy the meta part, or like, or it's like a couple K more, and then it's like, who cares? If I'm building a 300K gun, I don't care about a 10K difference from a hand grip to hand grip kind of thing.
Oh, exactly. And like that also comes down to I feel like more parts should have durability. And like I don't know, say you get shot right in the hand, maybe the bullet hits your foregrip, fucking knocks your foregrip off mid fight. I don't know.
Right, some sort of interaction. Yeah, I could see. I mean, yeah, I
can only imagine the hellish coding, but like, come on.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Oh, I forgot to. How many wipes did you play? Ballpark?
Let's see. What was the game version? Late 2020 again? Like what? 12.6, 12.5, something around there.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I know.
We need our lore hound.
That would have been right after Reserve because that was end of 2019.
I believe I started playing week to a month after Found and Raid was fleshed out.
Okay.
So about that point in time, and I currently have 2,100 hours and level 40 this wipe.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll hit you with the lightning round, but thank you for coming in. I know I appreciated it last time too.
I don't remember last time.
Well, no, it's always a good conversation. I think that, I mean, there's a lot, especially like just the small changes with recoil, the small changes with like the health and being wounded and how that interacts with recoil and how it makes your character feel. I feel like there's a lot that could definitely be done to.
No, because I'm a sucker for little interactions like that. Because like, oh,
Yeah.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like any game that has that shit, this game sucked me in because it just had a gameplay style and looped. I was like, whoa, this is fucking badass.
Yeah. No, completely. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on your Sunday.
Goodbye.
Good luck on reserve, buddy. See ya.
Oh, I'm gonna get one shot by blue card and fucking. Yeah. All right. Bye bye.
See you, man.
dude.
That's funny. I guess I hate just even talking about Gluhar. Him and Killa, man.
I have flashbacks too, like all the times where I'd be like, all right, we know he's there, and you'd send me in after him, and I'd be like, oh, it's going bad down here. It's going really bad.
Because I'm not, like when there's bosses, you can't, and your buddy needs to kill it. You have to let them do everything because the AI is just ridiculous. But yeah, it's exactly.
It's just so funny.
All right, next we got Slater, then Maddie, then use my different Maddie though. Then use my name, so we're gonna pull Slater in here. Slater, hello.
That was different. What if they took that approach for a little bit, and all of a sudden, one day on BSG's Twitter, there's like, "Hey, we got a wipe incoming," and all of a sudden, a full set of streets is released.
What's up, dude? How's it going? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. There was like somebody else talking though.
Yeah, is this
that was weird.
Duo?
I played back. It was the playback of the stream. I was.
Oh, that's so weird. It sounded. It was perfectly you, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I feel like we said this already.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it going, man? How many wipes? How many hours? What kind of servers do you play on?
As my second wipe.
Cool.
I just checked. It's 256 hours. I was just like, good God, probably 119 of that is all in stash. All stash.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
3 things. I'll make it. I know you're trying to wrap this up.
No, you're good. Hit us with it. What big changes, man? What would make the game better for you since you have a newer perspective, a fresher perspective?
I know I might get some flack for this.
Okay.
But a GTA style GPS tracker and or indicator
mini map.
Where not even a mini map. I just need a fucking action. Because it's like I go into these raids, and if by the 15% chance that I find Jaeger's message in the woods somewhere, that by the time that I've gotten there, I'm like out of raid time, and there's no way I'm gonna find a random ass extraction where I don't know where it is. And so let me hit that with the grain of salt. I would even settle with that being in the offline mode. So I could do that in my practice time, which I spend a lot of time in.
Okay.
I'm wandering around and dying. It's just like slows the process. Like I have 256 hours and I'm level 9.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, full-time job, kids, the whole 9.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
right, yeah, of course.
much time. It would just make things so much easier if at least I knew I was in the right direction. And someone said it earlier, the importance of the duo and the trio is like unparalleled, especially when you have someone map knowledge, and you guys are you're all experienced. You're all like so tired of it now because you've played it so like
for sure
thoroughly and understand it. So like I understand, but it's like, if BSG wanted more people to stray away from Call of Duty, because you guys were talking about servers, that's how I feel the US servers are. It's like all of the COD rejects who just like can't
sure
they want to beat every first person shooter, and then they come in the COD and they just run and gun like the biggest chads you would ever see. And it's like I can't go in and have a conversation with a dude in factory because that's where I spend most of my time. That's like the biggest or the easiest place to roam. But and that's my second thing.
Well, I want to pause you real quick because I do think that like I agree wholeheartedly. Like I don't want like full indicators in game, but they have so many utility items. I feel like having a true GPS like that you could take out in your hands, similar to the compass, and like spend your time kind of looking around on that to give you kind of directions. Like I don't think, I mean, as long as there's no like, I don't click, I don't want to place a waypoint and then look up and be like, oh, there's the waypoint, like in my eyes. But like if you had a true GPS of the map, I don't. A true soldier would have a GPS. You know what I mean? Like these soldiers don't just go in blind and are like, oh, what's going on? I just feel like that would be almost more immersive, especially if you like synchronize up with your party, right? So I can I can take the GPS out, put it in my hands, and see where everyone else is pinging in on the little map as I'm like moving around. Like I just think it'd be extra immersive. You know, I think it would actually add a lot. I don't think it would take away from the game
Slater,
at all.
You're not gonna like my idea because it sounds like this is what you're stuck on. But after you find that thing for Jaeger and you get your compass, you probably should get a little GPS too that you can put in your special slot, and that's when you have what you're talking about.
Yes, I think it should have
the most sense.
You should have to struggle a little bit. Like I want people to have to struggle a smidge, but I also don't want it to be that it's just like you always have the map of the map up on your phone or a second screen, because that's not hard. That's just annoying to have to leave the game to get that information.
And it's like someone said earlier too, it's like a desk-based thing. You have to buy another monitor. You have to have a nice enough PC to run both. Like it's not just as simple as pull up the map in another monitor.
Yeah.
Like it's not that easy.
Much because there's so much in depth. I'm in my stash because I don't know these guns well enough to like just throw a kit together quick and efficiently and go in and do what needs to be done. But it's a learning process. How to make it more like a survival game? If anyone's familiar with Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain,
yep,
the base system on that was pretty killer, and you could go and raid people's hideouts. And I'm not sure if I heard it once before or not, but that might be a planned mechanic at some point.
They've talked it, but like being able to like interact with the people's stashes. But I think they're still trying to find a way that would be like, how would you protect players like you, level 9, you don't have a ton of time to play, from people like me who let's say I can play 40 hours a week because I'm a streamer. How would you defend your stash from me not swinging? You know what I mean? I think that's what they kind of got hung up on, because there was like no good way to balance it appropriately, where it wasn't just like punching down and stomping on people who just don't have the time to play.
Well, it's like, I don't want to give us too big of a handicap with the GPS indicator telling me where to go. So why not let you level 26ers just jump on my shit?
Yeah.
You 66, you're just like, nah, I mean, it's like, that's why Tarkov is great, because it is about pain. It's about the suck. So it's like,
I hear that. But also, I don't think you're fully grasping how much that could suck.
I'm going to start taking your... Like, dude, I already tease people by throwing away gas analyzers and keys when I find them. I'm going to start going into your stash and taking all your fucking food and water. Just because I'm like, oh, you hungry? You thirsty?
Yeah, it was real nice. I took that.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if I said it right.
No, that's funny.
But,
hey, I saw that you only needed one more can of orange Tushonka, so I took all those, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all I got, but I really appreciate you guys letting me come on.
No, dude, thanks for bringing it up. I think that, it's a healthy, I really like the people who have less hours who are coming in, like, giving their fresher perspectives, because it's things I haven't thought about. But I do think, like, a GPS that you could pull out in your hands to get the layout of the map, it makes sense in the lore. It makes sense for the characters and who you are as like private military contractors. And it like, all it does is keep people in the game and off of the like third-party websites that BSG doesn't like. So I feel like it's a win all around.
And I think you're some sort of sick type of masochist that you're a player who wants your hideout raided.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up, but also like, I mean, I think it'd be fun to like assault people. Yeah. But I also, that's funny.
That's the thing. My shit's so ragged, you don't want it. Like it's out of pure like pettiness that you grab.
I don't think you understand how petty I can be sometimes.
That's so funny. Well, thanks, Slater. Thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Have a good one, guys.
You too.
See ya.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine Landmark having to fight off thousands of people who are all like
hold on.
keyed in?
Maybe we're not giving this idea enough thought.
Dude, I would strip the friendly guy of all of his loot just so he couldn't RMT. I'm sorry, I mean give other people stuff. Sorry, that's not what it's called when a streamer does it. It's not RMT. My bad. Yeah, oops. All right, let's pull Maddie in here.
All right, let's do it.
Maddie, hello.
Mr. Maddie.
Hello.
How you doing, dude?
Pretty good. It's funny that I'm mentioning Stalker because I'm playing Gamma right now.
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
feel
hot
like
right
yeah, it's a hot one right now.
Yeah, it kind of gives you the Tarkov itch scratch, but not quite the same. It's
Well-
just there till, the new stuff comes in.
Yeah, no, I see a lot of people playing it. I was just gonna say, real quick, what kind of servers do you play on? Like, how do you pick your servers?
I mostly pick the ones that are local to me so that the ping's good. I know that you could do stuff like hop over to Oceanas or something if
Mhm.
you just want to get away with all the loot, but I also don't want to get stuck into a wall for 15 seconds because there's bound to be somebody else who's gotten this ideal too, and I won't be able to react to them because I'm millions of miles away from said server.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I was just curious how people pick those. But well, I'll hit you with a bit of a lightning round here. But what's the feature you want? Like, what's the big thing that would really make the game better?
Well, I don't want to get booted for AI talk, so I was thinking of another idea. This may or may not be a good one, but I think what would be cool is maybe going a little deeper into weather effects on maps.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, talk through that. Like, what kind of stuff do you want added?
Pull an example for another game, and then going into the hypothetical for this. You make snow tracks in PUBG on the map so people can track you better. And that's pretty interesting. I don't see that much. Now, imagine, if you will, instead of the rain being deafening, blinding, and absolutely annoying,
Yeah.
it's a little less that, but what it could do is instead make it so it just it's got a different bad trade-off where it's like you go into interchange, your boots are wet, so already when you walk in there, you're making that annoying squeak, squawk, noise as you're going in because your boots are still wet. The inertia's messed up at the beginning because if you try to stop too fast, you slide. And maybe if you've overweighted yourself to an egregious degree, you slip and fall on your ass.
Sure. But do you think, how would, aside from those other, I feel like a lot of this sounds like it's almost cosmetic though, but how would you, I guess, how would the gameplay change? Like, how would that make it more enjoyable for you, gameplay wise, with these weather systems? How would it change your play style? How would it change, what about it sounds to you like, this would really be awesome and change the way that people play? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes. What I'm thinking is, what it could do is, how we're always I'm this person wants more PvP, this person wants more looting kind of deal. And then there's me in the middle where it's I don't necessarily want more of either. I just want to be able to bankroll my next raid or a couple of raids. Like I've said in the other time I've been on here, I got up at around 2 mil, and it doesn't feel good when that's 10 kits. I am a very prone to screw up and die person. I'm just that. I'll burn through that really fast. And tried doing the other things. That's why I was asking in the town hall chat about the very specific. You play like this, you'll live 80% kind of things. I'm genuinely interested, but what the weather could do with that is it can encourage different, how some people will say, have a hard time, go nights, you'll find no one, you can get your quest done kind of deal.
Sure, yeah.
Stuff like that. I feel like multiple different weather mechanics could possibly do things where it's you'll find people want to run quests at rainy times because looters will make too much noise and they want to go at these times.
Right.
But people who are in quest who just want in and out run light anyway. They will not see the slip slides and stuff, and the sound could cover their movement sort of deal.
Yeah.
It's just like each weather will present its own pros and cons that you can tailor into your play style.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I think even cosmetically, it would be so nice, I feel, to just have, you know, a wipe where everything is covered in snow, or a month where everything is covered in snow. Just something to break up the monotony of the same thing we've seen for so many years. Even if it doesn't, like, let's say it has no other features except it changes footsteps a little bit and you have that like crunch of snow. I feel like that would really, I mean, for me it would be very refreshing. Dude, imagine it pulls the foliage. Oh my goodness. Actually, hold on. There's no foliage. The bushes are like bare. There's no leaves. Could you imagine? There's no bushes for little fuckers to hide in anymore because it's winter. Oh my goodness, dude.
It's terrible for me.
That sounds amazing. Hey, good job, Maddie. Actually, I love this idea. I want winter right now.
I'm like just a poor breaky that wants to be left alone.
Fuck your little bushes. Fuck your trees. I don't want any of that anymore.
Oh my god.
No, I think that'd
cool,
be neat.
Though.
Yeah, I think it would
be
I think it'd be neat.
But cool.
Yeah, I would really like that. And of course, I'd want, you know, if it ever went open world, I would want some sort of like combination of like actual, you know, temperature issues, etc., that kind of stuff. But that's asking a lot right now, and I don't want to be cold in the middle of a raid like I am on Namalsk when I play DayZ, where it's like go stand by a go stand by a bush for 5 minutes.
Hitting. Guess I'm dead.
Yeah, sit and shade. So.
Another, like, this would be really kooky and specific, but like if you walk into an open area of freaking shoreline during a thunderstorm and you're carrying a ton of metal stuff, you could actually die to a lightning strike every now and then.
Yeah. Well, they do. Isn't that on the Namalsk? Isn't that? Don't they have lightning that like not? No, that's like that weirdo storm. That never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, you're thinking of something else. You're thinking of the cycle. The lightning in the cycle.
No. In on DayZ and Namalsk, but it's like it's at the end. There's like a storm that knocks everybody unconscious.
Oh yeah, knocks you down. Right?
It's just a different. It doesn't like actually strike you. It's just a forced unconscious or something like that.
Yeah. I think ultimately what would make Tarkov really cool for me is if they could tone down the PvP by a small percentage, so it's not like everything and anything. Like, I still want it in there. I still want to bump into people, but I don't want to always bump into people. I would love these quiet raids that I see all the streamers get.
Yeah, because those people also have one server selected, and then they're like, oh man, the game's so dead. The raids are so dead. It's like, man, if these streamers slipped on like auto US, they'd get their shit pushed in.
Yeah, and I get that for some people, because it's like, Hestley can't really avoid that where he is. But other people won't get that because they're actually in American regions. And it's like, I don't want to have to connect to the server in Atlantis just to be alone every now and then.
No, I see. Yeah, I think that makes a good point too.
Because like, there are very few times I want to be alone will be like, grab the gold pocket watch.
Right.
Grab the Zippo lighter in dorms. Dorms is just a death sentence for a guy who can't see in the dark.
Right. Yeah, I just tweaked all my monitor settings. And the difference is night and day. Like, truly, the way that you can see through some of these things where I'm like, oh shit, I really do get how people do that. If you min-max your post effects, you min-max your monitor settings, you min-max your like graphic settings on like the NVIDIA control panel or whatnot, like holy shit, you can really do some shit. But
tried doing that with my NVIDIA control panel, I could not see the difference.
I'd play around with your monitor. If you have a decent monitor that gives you some okay controls, you can do some wild stuff. But
I'll maybe look into it next patch. I know I did tweak some of my settings, but at the same time, when I watch those YouTube videos, they say you're gonna have to change your settings per like. You turn it up for interchange or resort, turn it down for
I know.
It's like,
that's too much for me.
Yeah, I don't want to have to like make a data sheet to save what my settings are for every map. I just wish that the dark wasn't super dark and the light wasn't super light.
No, I agree.
But I don't want it to be this bland copy paste. It's perfect for everyone kind of thing.
Right.
I do like the change. I like that I almost feel like sunglasses do actually affect being able to see. Maybe that's just a placebo thing, but that would be really cool where it's like now you're just bringing in something more than condors. You're bringing in shades so that you can not get blinded in customs when the sun's out.
Yeah, crazy how those work. Yeah, exactly. When they work as designed kind of deal. Yeah, that's funny. But well, Maddie, no, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you giving that perspective. And like, dude, weather systems are cool. Like just thinking about like the way that could work, or if rain wasn't the default, like, you know, there's regular Tarkov and there's rainy Tarkov, which is like days long. You can't see anything. The rain kind of looks like shit too. It kind of makes the game look gross. Yeah, I just think it'd be cool if there was more to that.
You know what? One thing would be done, like it's in Stalker. You know, it'd be good if it was in Tarkov 2.
What?
A button to wipe your visor clean.
Oh yeah, instead of constantly having the speckle. I love when you get the specks when you're not wearing glasses, and it's literally like raindrops on your eyes.
Oh god.
On your eyeballs, you're getting raindrops. This isn't how rain works, bro.
Blink.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't. That's not. Oh my goodness, like I don't do that.
As a glasses wearer, having a raindrop miss my glasses and hit me in the eye, I know how it feels. And it's like, how does he take that? I'm sitting there like, oh, I have to blink 2 or 3 times.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for hopping back on with us again. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. I like to see if I can pop in every now and then. If the crowd hasn't already filled the queue. Maybe see if I can pop in multiple times with newer stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, thank you for coming on, Sharon, and getting us talking about the weather. That's funny enough, actually.
Yeah.
Best of luck,
Glad
man.
to be around.
Have a good Sunday.
Thanks. You too.
See you, dude.
Oh, dude, winter Tarkov.
Love to hear about it.
I love to talk about things that I don't think will ever exist. But I do like
Yeah.
that's the shitty thing about this conversation today is like most of the things that people have talked about. I'm like, man, that'd be so sick. And then like I finish the conversation, I sit here at my desk and I go, man, all these cool ideas we have today, you'll never see them. I don't even think we're gonna get arena. Like, oh man.
I'm putting on a strong face right now, but as soon as you cut that stream off, I'm just immediately sobbing. So many cool ideas I have in a notepad in front of me right now that I'm looking at that just like never gonna happen.
Right. I'm gonna open Tarkov, close Tarkov, and go play Last of Us because it's like that, man.
Oh man.
But what was the most unique idea you heard today? What's the one that you're still
the most unique?
No. Hold on, because you're gonna be like pull up with something goofy. But like, what was your favorite? Where you're like, damn, I agree, 100%.
You know what? Because I think this is what I think is going to be the best one and the most realistic happening. The guy who was talking about the person-to-person and person-to-scav interactions, AI scav. I think that is the most realistic thing from a scope standpoint that they'll do. Us being able to heal our teammates or that sort of stuff. I think that's probably what I'd pick. But what I would love to see, dude, I want to see those survival elements fleshed out. Really, I do. I liked hearing about like all the different like weather effects and like I have to actually worry about eating and drinking, not just being I ate a cracker.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but I'm a big immersion player, obviously, and that's not happening anytime soon. So.
Right. I actually got kind of convinced like through this conversation and like the faction karma. Like I think PMC karma is stupid. And I think that in the current game, like, I think that would be ass. But, like, romanticizing open world Tarkov and the way that you could truly be, like, a survivalist, you know what I mean? Like, and actually have these factions you interact with where loot is no longer the primary goal of the game. And PvP, it's like you're surviving again. And then you have, like, all, like, thinking about what that game could be like got me excited because I'm like, man, I wish, because there's so much that could do. It could be really cool, but it's another one of those things that like it'll never happen ever. We will never see open world Tarkov. I can't, they can't get Lighthouse to run. They're not getting open world. They can't get streets to run. That's why they're chopping the fucker up and piecemealing it to us. Like,
someone said that in chat earlier, and it's what I've talked about a million times or whatever. It's like they were proud of what they gave us with Lighthouse, dude, and now they're talking about how streets they're having a hard time in the office.
Yeah,
dude, it's doomed. It's
not happening. It's not happening. I mean, if you remember the Battle of Concordia when they were talking about that trailer, and that was over a year ago. Nikita said on the podcast, "This is done. Everything about this is done. All that needs to be added is the loot. The map portion was done. It's been over a year since they've been, quote, adding loot. And every time they talk about it now, they're just talking about they can't get it to fucking run. Their game is built on a bad engine that does not support the style of game that they're playing. Like, it doesn't, Unity doesn't support Tarkov. It doesn't play really nice with these like PvP, with these first person shooter games. Like, you were never, I just don't, man, I just feel like the game is cooked and the engine is cooked and you're not going to see, I'm nervous for Streets. I feel like we're going to get 20 frames. I feel like it's going to, I mean, the amount of people, if you go look at the threads, when I was making that video last month or 2 weeks ago about like the Tarkov killer or whatever, when I was reading all those forums on when Lighthouse first released, I have never seen more comments that were like, and posts on Reddit and the Tarkov forums that were like, hey, my PC only blue screens when I play Lighthouse. I've never had my PC blue screen, but you're literally having BSOD because of one of your maps, because of like the way it destroys a computer's virtual memory. That is scary to me. That you have a map in a video game that causes people from across the spectrum of like PCs, from like high-end PCs to low-end PCs, blue screening, and you're telling me you want me to play Streets? I'm not touching that. I honestly couldn't give a fuck because I'm not putting my hardware at risk. Yeah, like,
but the thing is, you know what they're gonna do is they're gonna do the same thing that they did with Lighthouse, and they're gonna take
37 scavs sitting in one area
and they're going to take some of the favorite items like the RD and the suppressor that you put on the RD and all that stuff, and they're going to lock it behind those little stupid tasks like that.
Right. Yeah.
Go finger fuck the... sorry, that was a little too vulgar. Go kill the boss on our new Streets map. Take down the BTR 10 times. Now you get an MOE black hand grip that you need for Gunsmith. Like,
right.
Come on. If you have to force people to play your map, bro, like sheesh, you got issues,
right? And that's really what
we
they
should
did.
Address that.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see a world. I don't see a world where this works, and there's so many of these cool
I hope
features
they
that
prove
are
us wrong,
dependent.
dude.
100%.
I hope they slap us in the face, but I don't see it happening.
Right? Yeah, I don't. And that's kind of where, this past year that I've gotten very anxious about just the development overall. When you look at Lightkeeper as an example, being the primary example, I am almost, I would, if I was a betting man who put money on things, I would say,
yes, which
he's
I'm clearly not. No gambling addiction.
Yeah, I don't have a gambling addiction. He's going to be a part of the December wipe. In some form, and that's just like, if it took him that long to get an in-raid trader into the game, it took him that long to get one in-raid trader, and yet you have games like Deadside that just slap a trader in every other 20 minutes because it's easy. Like, I don't know, man. That makes me anxious. He was supposed to be, he's like, that would make him almost a year overdue. A fucking in-raid trader. It's the story with this company is like, I feel like they take a simple idea. We're going to add a map, Streets. We're going to add an in-raid trader. We're going to add just these couple small things. And they find a way to take the most complex route to get there, and just it never meets the expectations that they set for it. They set this super high bar and talk this super high bar about a piece of content they're releasing. Rogue bosses. Oh, they're going to rotate from map to map, and they're going to, they won't ever be in one place, and they're going to communicate with each other over the radio, and they'll try and flank you. And then we play the game, and it's Bird Eye one taps you across the map before you even know he's there. Because you don't know what map he's going to be on. Like, dude, I just don't...
That's one scenario. Scenario 2, Bird Eye sees you run into Crack House, sends 2 at you, you kill them, and then Bird Eye pushes you and dies.
Right. I don't know, man. It's just like, it would almost be better if they just shut the fuck up, like we talked earlier. Don't say anything, and once you have something, then put it out there. The fact that they've had to cancel the unique armor hitboxes, that those are being shelved, because again, it's like, you talk this system up that you're going to put in the game, then you actually start to work on it and realize you can't fucking do it, and you have to back talk it and be like, oh, actually, like, dude, just don't say anything.
Since this is a town hall, I just want to touch on Rilo in chat. If there were games that did the same things Tarkov's did, or same things that Tarkov did but better, we would all be playing them. No, I don't necessarily think so. I think that Tarkov has such a unique environment that people like. It's so many people just today have come through and been like, oh, I love Stalker, and I got started with Stalker and then moved into Tarkov, this, that, and the other thing. People like this atmosphere. They like the, I won't say genre, because obviously it's its own little genre now, but that Eastern European apocalyptic vibe is what people are here for. If a game came around that was Escape from Tucson, Arizona, and it did everything Tarkov did but better, would people play it? Yes. Would it be a Tarkov killer? No, it would just be another looter shooter.
Yeah, like, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with critiquing something that we love, right? Like, I love Tarkov, but I'm still going to critique the fuck out of it because, like, it is unique. It can be better. And I feel like just because there's other games, like, you could say, like, oh, what if, nothing else is doing it exactly this way, so, like, it's not fair to critique it. Like, I'm still critiquing a product that is on fucking sale, that says it's a beta and asks for our feedback. And if something else comes out, like, you see that where it's like people would be going and playing that. That's why people have left Tarkov and go play the Tarkov mod in DayZ. because there's other, like, people do leave all the time. Tarkov, or they play the mod. There's a million other things that people do play because they don't like the way that Tarkov's gone, the way that it's working, the way that it's being developed. It's like, people have gone and done other things. Just because we're critiquing it, though, it doesn't make it a bad product. Like, I just feel like there's no one-to-one with any game, though, too. Like, I wouldn't say the same thing about Call of Duty. Like, you can't one-to-one compare it to Battlefield. Like, my point is, like, if that's the line you want to take of, like, well, if somebody else isn't doing it exactly, you can't point to examples, then you would never be able to critique any game, because there is no game that is a one-to-one. There's always something that they do differently. Like, I don't feel like that's a fair defense to put in place and to slap in front of something because you don't want a product to be critiqued, right? Like, that's my point. I don't feel like you can use that as a defense to, like, swing your arms out and be like, don't talk about it that way, don't talk about it that way. It's like, whatever, man. You took my fucking money. You said you're a beta and you asked for our feedback.
You're being negative about the game or whatever.
Like,
it's like,
no, fucker.
No,
like,
actually, I play this game a lot. I've devoted thousands of hours into it.
And that's more the point, where it's still fair to critique. It's especially when it's a beta. It's a beta in quotes, like, and they have asked for our feedback,
fitting.
Right? Like,
yeah, it's even more fitting if you're a beta. We're all passionate. Let us critique.
Right. Yeah. And it's extra frustrating to hear, like, because we hear all these, like, great thoughts from the player base today, even where it's people who have all different levels of playtime and all different experiences and different ideas of what would make the game better. Like, that's the point. Like, that is what I think. Like, these are all the feedback that people don't get, because I don't want to just hear the couples TTVers saying, well, give labs better loot, give labs better loot. fix cheaters, fix cheaters, fix cheaters. Like, shut the fuck up. That's not feedback. You have to, you give true examples. If you want to talk about loot, lay out explicit examples, right? Say, here are the kind of things that you can find on Lighthouse in a scav raid in 5 minutes. Then you compare, here's what I can find on customs in 5 minutes in a scav raid, because there's just not stuff there. Like, that's a more fair kind of assessment. Like, that's the kind of feedback that needs to start being provided if you want to, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of way I feel like you have to approach it. A lot of people don't understand how to give appropriate feedback. And so a lot of it just comes off as complaining, because a lot of it is just complaining. Some of these fuckers, streamers and otherwise, need to find better ways to provide feedback and not just quote tweet BSG and say your game bad. Like,
right.
Well, you're not adding anything.
Sound bites, clips, like whatever,
Right.
There's a lot of that type of thing going around instead of just like sitting around and formulating real thoughts. The closest thing that came to it was that little podcast on the couch they did.
Yeah.
Where it was just a bunch of people all having real conversations with counterpoints and suggestions and stuff. It's not just a sound bite of cheaters and then a clip of him dying or something,
And that's why I also I want to keep having this, because somebody brought it up today where they talked about echo chambers a lot, and you and I sitting and talking to each other all the time can put us into it puts us into an echo chamber. And so that's why this is important to me, and why I want the people who have even only have 30 hours in the game, because everyone discredits that, and it forces me to think differently, because when I have somebody saying like they don't even understand how the spawn and extract system works, that in my head I need to be like, fuck, like, just because I have this whole game memorized front to back does not mean that is a reasonable expectation to set for new players. To say, hey, just pull up the map until you memorize it. Like the person who came in and talked about, like, the I think it was Slater talking about the GPS, where it's like, it's not even unreasonable. like having a GPS that you can earn in game and use in game, not always on your screen, similar to the compass. You have to take it out and look at it, make it interactive. Because if I've got 20 million rubles, I can find a fucking GPS. I don't care if it's the pseudo apocalypse. My bitch ass will find a GPS if I can find
there's airdrops
a thermal.
coming in. There's communication to the outside world. My 20 million rubles are going to buy me a Starlink X or whatever the hell they call it in this era.
If it's a $5 million GPS one-time buy, like, man.
I'm getting me a GPS. Easy
It's going to happen. If I can buy T7 thermal goggles, I can find a shitty GPS somewhere.
Exactly. If I can roleplay as the freaking Terminator, dude, I can get a GPS.
If there's cultists with toxic knives and a fucking psychopath with a sledgehammer and a welding mask who doesn't die, or Sanitar who takes 400 shots to the head,
the world would love to see.
I can find a GPS
that just instantly you have 19 bullet wounds in you, you're good to go.
Exactly.
The world needs to get into Tarkov to figure out this medicine, dude. It's insane. And you're telling me I can't get GPS. I can't talk to the CIA and say, listen, this guy's cooking up crazy drugs. They're not going to airdrop me a freaking GPS.
No, dude, that's so stupid. Like, oh, man. If thermal imaging is more readily available.
The 1970s tech?
Yeah,
all right, maybe that's being a little gross.
Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck me. That makes me giggle. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
If the gods can track how many scav kills, if Prapper just knows in his brain that I've sent him to kill 15 scavs. I feel him killing them. He's at 13 now. Like, give me a
scav dead, eh?
This sick fucking sadist. Oh my goodness. Yeah, give me a GPS is my point. Yeah, I don't know.
Long story short, bitching and moaning aside, GPS please.
I think it's also my point is we're going to continue doing these town halls because it forces us out of an echo chamber. It gives people the platform to talk about things, even if you guys saw them, there's some things that we disagreed with today. That's an okay conversation to have, but it's
listen, we'll challenge you on your ideas 100%, but there's a couple people that want us over on their talk. So,
and I just feel like there's a lot that it's these conversations overall help sharpen ideas and say, hey, here are things It helps sharpen feedback. It changes from fix your recoil to, okay, here's why I don't care for the recoil system, because you have so many awesome attachments in the game. If you rework the attachments and rebalance those, like, you can have a much more intricate and enjoyable recoil system. Like, it changes recoil bad to having an actual, a business case to hand off and be like, here's why I think you should modify how recoil is working.
Hey, there we go.
Right.
It's all about terminology.
But that's the kind of stuff that, like, you just don't get. I mean, you just get a streamer soundbite.
Yeah, anyone else or anything like that, you're probably just gonna go with the short and sweet recoil bad.
Right, and that's what you see half these streamers who are saying recoil bad, and I say streamers because, like, it's even the same thing. It's like it's the only thing I hear are streamers. I don't see I think there's probably, like, it's just that all I hear are the streamers' big opinions, and it's just
right.
Some of them are fucking bad. Some of them are so fucking bad, man.
It wouldn't be a problem if it didn't propagate out to all the viewers and stuff and turn into it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. Like,
obviously that's generalizing a lot of people too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's 100%. Like, that's the grain of salt you have to take it with, is I am 100% generalizing. I am 100% simplifying. Like, we poke fun at TTVers, but there's a million amazing streamers, right?
There's a lot of cool ones.
There's a lot of great people.
We're friends with a couple TTVers actually, but we roast them too.
No, but, like, that's all. I don't know. That's why these are important. That's why we're going to keep doing them, because it helps people.
And it's fun.
Talk.
It's always fun too.
Yeah. But
cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, we'll do this probably another 2 weeks to a month. We'll come up with another topic and we'll post it similar to how we did in the Discord. So make sure, if you're interested in being a part of it, you're in the Discord, and make sure you sign up. So thank you, everybody.
You can find that link in the description.
Yeah, it's in the description. If you can't find it, I probably don't want to hear your opinion anyway. if you can't find a link, that's on the screen. That's on you. So anyway, all right, guys, you have a good one. Have a nice Sunday. We'll see you. Thank you.
See you guys.